Today, we're checking one last time on Metroid Prime 4. It's been a bit of a rocky journey getting to launch.
Nothing's easy for this game.
Nothing has been easy for this game. We've been on an emotional roller coaster a bit, so we just gotta do one last final check-in. The game's gonna be coming out in about 2 weeks. And yeah, this is the last chance to ask and maybe answer some of these final questions.
This is indeed it, and we've had some time to reflect on all the big updates from last week, the overview trailer, the preview, so we got some fresh thoughts on that. Also some bigger picture thoughts of like, it seems like Nintendo's trying to do something with Metroid, and there's kind of actually a long line of breadcrumbs of like, here's maybe what they're trying to do. So we're trying to get into that. Been doing some investigating on that.
The pieces may or may not be falling into place. Do we like it? That's still a bit of a question mark. But something is definitely happening beyond like, this is the new Metroid Prime game. There's something else happening that's fundamentally may or may not be changing the course of the future of the series that Nintendo is trying to do. So we definitely want to dig into this and take a look at what they might be trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So we're going to get into all of that soon. Also coming up soon, next week is a big holiday here in the U.S. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
You are? You're going on vacation.
I am going to Japan for the week. It's a nice. Not have to be a super long trip, but just nice to get out of town and experience that. I've never seen the famous Japanese fall colors.
It's very pretty.
So that's
kind
of one of my main goals. And we both went and saw the cherry blossoms in the spring, which was mind-blowing.
Yeah, you also went to Japan in the winter, like the snowy Japan.
That was very cold.
You were cold.
I don't think I'm going to do that again.
But the different seasons are very distinct and beautiful in Japan. I've done fall colors. It's been like over 10 years since I've seen it, but it is very beautiful.
Yes.
Especially when you go up to those temples and you see all the Japanese maples changing colors. It's
I'm
really
excited
pretty.
to see that.
Yeah.
I'm pledging to you now. I am not going to the Nintendo Museum. We will do that.
Oh, of course you wouldn't be.
When you and I go.
Yeah.
Next, whenever that may be.
Definitely be stopping by the store. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need you to
because you've given me.
I need you to pick up a couple of things.
The world's longest shopping list of Snowman Mario. And
Christmas is coming up. Get going.
You were like, can you bring back this giant blanket?
Can
I was
you?
like, no, I can't.
Why not? You always check a bag. Why not?
No, I can't.
Ship it back to me.
I still have one functional hand.
Ship it back.
There's only
I'll pay for shipping.
You'll pay for shipping.
Yeah, ship it back.
I don't believe you.
I will pay for shipping.
All right, we can arrange a deal for a certain Rhythm Heaven game. Anyway, that's my business. We do have a lot of stuff that is going up. Again, it's the holiday rush is happening.
Things are happening.
Up on Patreon, we have our Pokemon Legends ZA spoiler cast, which was really great. I was surprised how much time we spent talking about the story of this game and the story of X and Y and kind of how they all fit together. I did not expect that.
I didn't either, and we were doing a lot of prep for this spoiler cast, and we both did a lot of research, and we caught up on the X and Y storylines. It's a game that we both worked on and played, but it's been a very long time, so needed to refresh our memory on some key things. But yes, this is really fun for us to do, and it's always nice to wrap up a game. And I was actually surprised at how many hours I put into Pokemon Legends ZA. I was like at almost 35 hours.
Right.
So I was like, wow, I really played this game. Like I really took my time and enjoyed my time with this game. So it was just really nice to like do a little emotional dump of everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's out on Patreon now. That's an exclusive. If you're wrapping up the game, be sure to check that out. Next month, already locked in, Metroid Prime 4, whether you want to or not.
I know.
Whether you want to or not.
It's going to be interesting. We've had one other spoiler cast where, gosh, I just came away with that game, and we shall not name that game anymore.
The name of that game is actually banned.
It's banned now.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The game
banned.
that shall not be named.
But I will say that the highest compliment I think I've ever received in my entire life was someone in our Discord telling me that the spoiler cast for that game was better than the game itself.
Oh.
Which I was like, thank you.
And that person was Shigeru Miyamoto.
I feel seen, thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
But anyways, we will be doing a spoiler cast on Metroid Prime 4. I'm expecting a lot of drama.
Okay. Wow. Look at you, really leaning into that. Also up on Patreon. These may not all be up yet as of you listening to this, but they're coming soon. They have been they've been recorded. We have a gameplay video of us playing Hyrule Warriors
co-op
together through Game Share.
That was interesting. That was an interesting experience.
Literally never done before.
Yeah. And that was your first time playing the game too.
Yes.
You don't have this game.
I realized after you do a game share, it's like I got a virus from your Switch too. It leaves that big old icon.
Oh, because it's like, buy this game.
It's like, what? I don't want this here. I don't have this game.
Delete it.
You gave me this.
Delete it.
I don't want it.
Delete it.
Get out of here.
Delete it.
So that's one. And then we did a indie game double feature.
Oh, man.
With two great indie games that we have been real into, Ball Pit and Absalom.
Yes.
We played both of those. This started your Ball Pit addiction, this video.
I'm so addicted to Ball Pit.
We're going to be talking about Ball Pit in the games we're playing.
I couldn't believe it.
It's awesome.
Absalom 2. I was very, very impressed by that game. It's a game that both these games you've been talking about for a couple of weeks.
And as usual, you've just been brushing me off.
No, I haven't had
whatever.
time.
Whatever, I don't care.
But then both of them, I was just like, wow, these are incredible games, and we had so much fun. Absalom, you can also play in co-op mode, and we had so much fun playing in co-op mode, and Ball Pit has just taken over my entire life. So.
Jeff Keighley knows. These games got some noms.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the noms.
They're nomming good.
Noms later.
Nom.
I'm getting hungry now, actually.
Good thing that the sponsor this week
speaking of being hungry, yes, this episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. Incredible. HelloFresh, have you heard of them? They're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. But this fall, they're serving up even more to love. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember.
Yes. I mean, I remember a pretty awesome HelloFresh, but this has just gotten more incredible.
That's right.
They have doubled their menu. And I can really tell because I've been using HelloFresh for a long time. Not like it was getting repetitive, but they've just added so many more meals. And I always go to HelloFresh when I'm in the dreaded food rut and I just don't know what I want to eat, or I've been making the same thing over and over again and it's just getting really boring. They always push me to try different items, different foods, different recipes, and since they've doubled their menu, it's like, oh my gosh, there's hundreds of options every week. It's so
100 options to be exact.
Yeah,
wow.
100 options
and
each week.
This stuff can be healthy too. You got over 15 high protein recipes each week, recipes that have a lot of veggies, give you at least 2 servings of vegetables per dish. You gotta eat your veggies. You gotta eat them.
Yes.
And it just tastes great. That is the most important thing. None of that stuff matters if it doesn't taste good.
And they have really high-end stuff like steak and seafood. They don't charge you any extra for that. It's just part of the menu options, which is really nice.
Love it. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/KitKrysta10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on the first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/KitKrysta10FM to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life.
We'll put the link right over here and also in the description. And there's also a QR code for you to scan if you'd like.
Wonderful.
All right, Metroid Prime 4 though.
Time for Metroid Prime 4, our big deep dive on this. I've got some stuff here that might surprise you. We're going to get to that a little bit though.
You said that you discovered something.
I made a find, a major find.
You have unearthed something.
I have. I've been excavating.
You have been teasing this. I walked in this morning. We were redoing our set for this podcast. You can see the beautiful Metroid set. And you said you discovered something.
I found something in this here book.
This is the retrospective. Metroid Prime 1 through 3 retrospective.
I like this book. I wouldn't say I love this book.
But you found something.
It does have these quotes from Mr. Tanabe, who's been the producer on Metroid Prime. And I found one that I think is very relevant to this conversation.
Juicy.
But I don't want to start with that. Let's start with,
Juicy.
again, something that's near and dear to our heart, which is just like, we've known about this game since 2017.
Yeah.
Obviously, starts and stops. They had to literally start over on this game. Right. But in this run-up to the launch, the marketing has felt strange to us. It's felt off at times. Why that? The development is one thing. It's like it's hard. It's very hard. Very hard to make a game. But it's like Nintendo has released Metroid games. They've marketed Metroid games. It seems like that's something at least they could really hone in on and nail.
Yeah. This is something that has been, catching our eye and something that we've just been questioning for a very long time, especially this year once we had finally gotten confirmation of Switch 2 and, obviously there was all these rumors around when this game will come out and what its tie to Switch 2. So as we were ramping up, just more and more things started to raise a lot of question marks for us. And at first, I kind of chalked it up to, oh, the game must be kind of down to the wire. They must be really, last minute making changes and reluctant to show things until they are perfect. And so that might have caused some of the inconsistencies in terms of the types of things they were showing, or the frequency of which things were shown, or the lack of explanation on certain things. Like, that could have been it. But more and more, we talked about, could Nintendo be trying to do something else?
Yeah.
Are they trying to position Metroid Prime 4 a different way than previous Metroid Prime games?
Yes.
And more, I feel like the reason the marketing has been inconsistent is because of that reason, and not because of some of those development challenges that we had previously thought. And there's been a lot of clues, especially as we have gotten a little bit more marketing now that we're about, 3 weeks from launch. Obviously, the big previews happened last week, about a month from launch. Now there's a lot more clues as to how Nintendo is thinking about Metroid Prime 4 and what they're actually trying to accomplish with this game. That might be just bigger than we anticipated.
Bigger than Metroid Mondays?
As big as Metroid Mondays.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Hold on to your horses, people.
Whoa.
It's a Metroid Mondays.
Yeah, I think that's one thing, because every time you start a marketing project, it's always like, who is the audience? How do we want to talk to them? What do we hope to accomplish? And that's definitely, we've seen some things in some of the copy they've been using, like things go boom. And you were like, well, this sounds like a Duke Nukem game.
Yeah.
And that's not what anybody would ever associate a Metroid Prime game to be. But it's very possible that they could be trying to, the things we've done before, those just didn't work. We have this very small but niche audience of fans.
Yep.
And now this is a hot new game on a hot new system that a lot of people are clamoring for some sort of new game to play. Maybe now's the opportunity to try and take this broader, and maybe that does also line up with some of the intentions of the content of the game as well. I think there's another thing at play here, which is, I think this marketing team is just underwater right now under a lot of different things. We look at the last month, the month of mid, let's say the start of November through this game coming out. You've got Hyrule Warriors launching, you've got Kirby launching, you've got this game launching, you've got all the holiday stuff that's happening, all the Black Friday preparations.
Third-party priorities.
Which is crazy. That's pretty unprecedented. I can't really remember a time. I can remember times where we had two big games launching kind of back-to-back, sometimes on the same day. Don't forget that. Oops.
2017 holiday season was pretty overwhelming. Would you say 2017 holiday season?
Well, you had some space.
Was more overwhelming than this.
You had some space. You had Mario coming out in October, and then you had Xenoblade Chronicles in December.
And you have Sakurai cracking the Kirby whip right now too.
Exactly.
Which is not to
mention they've just gone overboard on the Nintendo Directs and all this stuff. Oh, now I got this thing on the movie this is Miyamoto. I got to get that out. It's yes, they're a very capable team in many cases,
they're small.
But they have a cap on their attention, their resources, their time.
Yeah.
And I think right now everything is just feeling the crunch, and unfortunately this is not the top priority. It's really unfortunate.
Yikes, that's terrible.
It's really unfortunate.
If that's really happening, that's really bad.
Is Metroid Prime 4 a higher priority than Kirby Air Riders? No.
Ouch.
Is Metroid Prime 4 a bigger priority than Hyrule Warriors? I'd say yes.
I would say yes.
Yes, it is.
But
it's still something else that you have to deal with and get out there and do the work on,
You think Metroid Prime 4 is less of a priority than Kirby Air Riders?
Did Sakurai make Metroid Prime 4? Are you trying to court Sakurai to make a new Smash Brothers?
That's an ouch. That's an ouchie.
I don't know.
That's a real ouchie.
I mean, Sakurai just bullying his way through. Like,
that's the thing.
Do this.
Retro doesn't do
Here's
that.
what you. Here's the umpteen things you will be doing in the next month.
Truly,
just hand it off. Here
I
you
mean,
go.
I know.
You're gonna.
I
do
was
it.
there.
Yeah.
I've been there when that has happened. So
Yeah.
I do know that that is what's happening. But I feel like it's unfair. And it's kind of unfair to Retro
Right.
because they're not bullish like that.
Is Metroid Prime 4 a bigger priority than the holiday push for the Switch 2? No.
No, that's definitely not.
Absolutely not.
But it's a part of that campaign at least.
Sure.
It's a part of that campaign.
Sure, but it's just one of many things that they are talking about.
Yeah, they're definitely very busy. I mean, they're doing a lot. Maybe they've done too much.
And again, we don't think this was the master plan all along. It was just like, remember that time in the summer where it was like, hey, none of these games have launch dates. What's going on with that?
That's very
and
suspicious.
it was all swirling, and then it was like, they all just landed at the end of the year, and it's like, well, now we just gotta
deal with it.
We gotta make do with this.
We gotta deal with it.
So it's definitely it's not ideal. It's kind of sad when you consider the long wait that we've all had for this game.
Yeah.
But I think it's what's happening.
Yeah, people were saying 8 years since announcement, but it's been 18 years.
Right, since the last game.
Since the last game.
Last
so it's
Prime
actually
game.
it's in the last Prime game.
You don't count Federation Force?
No, I don't actually.
It says Metroid Prime on the bottom. Metroid Prime Blast Ball?
Blast Ball.
Go blast
Ball?
Let's go blast some balls.
Yeah, so it is very interesting. It's very unfortunate.
So that kind of dovetails into, again, like what is Nintendo trying to accomplish with this game, and are they trying to change kind of the purpose of the Metroid Prime series?
Yeah, to launch a game, Nintendo does this thing which is called like putting together the marketing strategy. And we've talked about this a little bit before, but in that strategy, like there is a very clear, section about like a big deep dive answering the question, like, who is this game intended for? What is our goal and purpose? What audience are we trying to reach with this game? Or what are we trying to do with this game? And for a very long time, when we launched Metroid games, we worked on Dread, we worked on other Metroid games in the past when we were at Nintendo, it was a very recognized thing that, like, we know this is, a darling with the Metroid fans, and we want to market this game to them, but we didn't have a lot of aspirations as to like how to completely expand the audience or trying to market this to a brand new audience. It was definitely very focused on sort of that more niche Metroid audience. And I do think that they are trying to do something more aspirational with this game, to all the points that you said before about like, this is kind of our shot. This may be like our Breath of the Wild Zelda shot, in a way, in that kind of a sense where it's like the Zelda franchise before Breath of the Wild was kind of similar to the Metroid franchise where it was big, but it had like kind of there's some shakiness there. Like they really needed to elevate that game, and they found that opportunity with Breath of the Wild on the original Switch in that launch year. So I kind of feel like they're thinking like, could we do that with Metroid Prime 4? Could we use the power of a new console, the sort of reimagining of Metroid Prime to make this into a breakout hit like Breath of the Wild was?
Especially when, what'd you say, it's been 18 years?
18 years.
18 years, when it's been 18 years, like, you can just look at that as like, okay, that's a fresh start. Like, yes, you have, like, the diehard fans who are going to stick with you, but it's like, people, like, at school, like, over summer break, it's like, I'm going to get a new look. And it's like, oh, and people won't even remember what the lame old me looked like, because it can be the cool new me, and everybody's going to love it.
Everyone's going to love it, yeah.
That usually doesn't work. But that could be the thinking here. Like, it's been that long. Like, how much do people really remember outside of
and
this?
And those older Metroid Prime fans, are they still with us?
Right.
It's been 18 years.
Yes, it's still got a number 4 on the end, but it's been so long. It's like now we have some license to do some things that are different. We're a little bit more unbound from kind of like the rules that we had before.
Yeah.
And it is interesting because there's really never been... You would think there'd be never been a better time to release a game like this. If you go back to like the early 2000s, like, all right, I got a first-person game. It's got lock-on shooting. there's not a lot of it, and it's got no multiplayer. Be like, well, I'm going to show you the door because that's not what anybody wants now. We want,
and also we have like a whole bunch of other games that do this but better.
Everything we want is actually the complete opposite of that
Yes.
in terms of people who are looking for shooters.
Right.
Or first-person games. Now we have all this huge variety of first-person games. You have first-person games that don't have any shooting at all. We have first-person games that are focused on puzzles. It's like you think like the market actually now can finally accept a Metroid Prime game.
Right.
But it still seems to be butting up against some challenges.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Very true.
So that desire to change the audience and change the trajectory, I do think that goes all the way back to, again, what is in the game.
Yeah.
And like you go back and you think like, oh, the big reaction around these NPCs and Miles McKenzie. It's like, well, those characters are there for a reason. It's not like,
and they're showing these characters.
Right.
First and foremost,
they knew that was in that
reason.
demo. And it is curious that they waited until like 3 weeks before the game comes out to show that. But I do think that goes back to this concerted effort. And it's like, if you think, it's like, gosh, if you go back even to Metroid Prime 3 18 years ago, they were starting to make the Federation more and more of a thing. So it's like, maybe they have just been trying to expand this world of Metroid and specifically Metroid Prime in these ways, but it just hasn't taken. And again, okay, so now it's time for this big quote. So I found this quote in the book, and I'll read this to you. This is in the section called Federation Marines, and this is a quote from Kensuke Tanabe, who's the producer. Retro proposed that the reason for Samus visiting the planet Ether, the setting of Metroid Prime 2, so this even goes back to 2, could be a mission to rescue Galactic Federation troops. Although the game didn't include any direct opportunities for Samus and Galactic Federation troops to fight side by side, this idea sparked a desire within me. I want to shine more of a spotlight on the Galactic Federation. Even in places where Samus isn't present, they must still be battling the space pirates. The Metroid Prime series, by its nature, is more of a side story as it doesn't cover the main narrative of the series. However, precisely because of that, I started thinking, couldn't we create a title that focuses on characters other than Samus? This idea eventually came to life 10 years later as Metroid Prime Federation Force. That's an incredible punchline to that quote.
Wow.
But here it is.
Here it is.
Straight from
the vision was there all along.
Of, okay, we're not bound by the rules of Metroid, which is very interesting. We're like, hey, Metroid Dread didn't have any of this nonsense. It's like, because
this is a side story.
This ain't that. This is a whole other series where it's like, okay, we have first person, sure. All these other characters, why not?
Why not?
The quote rules of the Metroid series, like we are more lightly tethered to those than the 2D Metroid games.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Whew.
He just laid it out right there.
He did.
More
it was there all along.
More of a spotlight.
It was there
on Miles McKenzie.
Along.
It was.
It was there all along.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think, this idea of expanding the universe of Metroid beyond Samus, adding these NPC these NPC characters in the form of Federation Marines, adding more dialogue, perhaps even the humor, making it feel very, people were saying this feels like a Marvel movie. Guess what? Marvel movies are very mainstream. Guess why a Marvel movie made billions of dollars?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be like, I read the comic books my whole life to be able to enjoy a Marvel movie back in the heyday of Marvel movies.
I also saw some people pointing out that like when this game was really, getting rolling into production was like around the time of Endgame.
It was around the time of Endgame.
Right.
And there was a lot of other little funny things. I don't know if this is all conjecture, obviously, but people were saying like, isn't it interesting that Samus is looking for these 5 stones in each of these areas in Metroid Prime 4, like the 5 Infinity Stones.
For her psychic glove.
Isn't it interesting that she has like a vision kind of looking diamond in her head, in the middle of her head for her psychic powers?
Samus is Dr. Doom?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Octopus?
Brie Larson?
Brie Larson?
What?
Are you there? Later on, we wanted to talk a little bit more about the characterization of Samus, but we were saying that it kind of feels like Samus went from, we'll talk about this a little bit more, but it just seems relevant to bring up in this conversation about Marvel movies. It's like Samus feels less like a bounty hunter these days and more like a superhero.
Right.
More like a superhero.
Yes.
So it's like, maybe all of this is fitting into this grand vision that
Right.
Tanabe and the team had all along to change the tone and trajectory of Metroid Prime. Maybe even, perhaps they were even doing it in 3.
Yeah, and even Sakamoto got in on that action with Other M. We know how that went. So again, we had our instant reaction late last week when all that stuff hit.
Yeah.
But now, like in hindsight, like thinking of this and seeing that quote and just having a bit more time, it's like, no, this feels like this has maybe been a long-term effort to do this different thing, but they just maybe have not found the right execution or opportunity.
Yeah, and I think obviously it's really tough to bring people along your journey when you have to make them wait 18 years between the two things.
Right.
Like if they had more stuff along the way to kind of take us along this road of changing or expanding the Prime universe, I think people will be much more willing to take me on this ride with you.
Yes.
But you're basically like blipping people, from where they were 18 years ago to a place that's completely different 18 years later. And it's just hard for people, me included, to like wrap your head around it a little bit. You feel a little whiplash because you're like, 18 years ago, like, you kind of introduced this, but you didn't really take me along to understand what you were trying to do. And now all of a sudden, here we are with Miles McKenzie, and Samus is basically a superhero. Like, what happened along? Where was the in between?
So we've had 18 years of them trying to finagle this.
Yeah. 18
years earlier, that would take you to 1989. So we've Metroid started before then, but we've basically had half of Metroid's life has been the true Samus's isolation.
Yeah.
And then we've had a whole other half of it, not insignificant amount of time.
Right.
And yet we're all reacting to this like this is some new OMG, I can't believe they pulled the rug out on.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, again, there has not been a consistent schedule of releases for these games.
Right.
But
not even games, just consistently talking about this universe.
But
anything.
But it's been 18 years.
That's right.
Right.
So I think that contributes to this feeling of like mixed emotions that people are having, right? Does this actually expand the game's appeal? So let's go back again. Let's take it back again to this Breath of the Wild example because I can't help myself comparing the two a little bit because I feel like there's a lot of similarities in what they're trying to do. Like, they took what was incredible about Zelda and sort of turned it on its head a little bit, expanded things that were really cool about the series, but also took stuff away that people, pure Zelda fans, like, oh my gosh, dungeons are gone. Oh no.
Why is this weapon breaking?
Time to riot, so it's kind of similar, but there is some like tension and like just like unease around the core concept of what is a Zelda game, what makes a Metroid game. That's happening right now with Metroid Prime 4. We know the series as like, it needs to be, exploration, alien planets, like almost a little bit with a little bit of tension and horror mixed in. You need that atmosphere. And then they introduce sort of this Marvel-esque kind of broad appeal approach. Do we think, for Zelda, it was very successful. Breath of the Wild certainly exceeded the goal of bringing in this new audience into the Zelda universe, into the Nintendo universe. Tons of people that were like, this is my first Zelda game, this is my first Nintendo game, I'm in. Do you think this will happen with Prime 4 based on the changes that they've made to broaden this game to appeal to a wider audience?
Yeah, I don't think right now many people really care that much about what is happening beyond Samus's little bubble in this universe. I think there could be some interesting but it's like, all right, the Galactic Federation, they're fighting the space pirates. They seem kind of bad at that. They seem to kind of suck. They seem to always need to get bailed out by Samus. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about this bigger world, this bigger conflict. And again, maybe that lore is out there to be pieced together. Maybe I haven't found the right 4-hour YouTube video essay to set me straight. As of right now, I'm not feeling super invested in that, which I think is why we get these sorts of reactions like we did last week.
Do you think new people are going to like this game more, that there's this maybe potentially a broader world, more characters.
Well, I've definitely
more
seen people
backstory.
who are like, who cares that this guy? Who cares that this guy's cracking? Like they don't have, again, 18 years. Like not everybody has. Like people have been born and become adults in this amount of time.
They can vote now.
Right. So they're like, I don't have any frame of reference. I didn't play those games. So I'm also unbound by these rules that you keep yelling at me about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a guy who's doing something goofy, and it's like, well, I've seen that before. So I don't know. I'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm wondering about the person too that's like, I've never played a Metroid game ever before, but now that I've seen what this game looks like it's going to be about, I'm totally in. Like
Right.
this is what's convinced me finally
Yeah,
to try out this game. You know, like now that I've seen all of these new characters with these Federation Marines, now that I've seen what was in that overview trailer, these psychic powers. Wow, the game looks so beautiful. Like now I'm finally ready to experience my first Metroid game. I do wonder about that audience because I think that's their audience.
Yeah.
I think that is what Nintendo wants to bring into the series to really help it break out. I'm wondering if they're going to accomplish that.
I'm open to there being some interesting kind of character and story possibilities by introducing these other characters. I just don't care for like the approach of Miles McKenzie, but there could be some like maybe one of them really is a capable fighter, and who knows, maybe one of them has to save Samus at some point. Like that could again, don't all be bumbling losers. You know, like the Federation can actually hold its own, and like now this hey we got you this time, lady, something like that. I think there are some interesting possibilities, but again, I just haven't seen it with my own eyes yet.
Yeah.
Are you interested at all in anything that's happening outside the world of Samus in this universe?
Well, now that I've thought about it a lot more, and I'm starting to understand what Nintendo is trying to do with this, like this is basically a different game now. You know, you can't really look at it under the lens of like what you thought a Metroid Prime game should or should not be.
Yeah.
If they're really trying to do something completely different here and they're trying to, change fundamentally what it is a Metroid Prime game is, then I will go in with no expectations and see if the new thing that they've decided that they wanted to do for the series is good or bad.
In that case, I wonder if they've gone far enough. Because it seems like they've got, the Metroid Prime you know and love, and like we kind of added on these other
that's the danger.
Things on the edges.
You can't do that. You can't take a half step because then it's bad.
Right.
Because you're not satisfying either side. You're not pushing it forward, and you're not really catering to the purists.
Yes.
Right. So if they do go down the middle and they don't take it far enough, then it's going to be a bad game. But if they are truly like, no, we're going to throw away the playbook. This is what we're doing now with this series. Nothing is precious. We're just starting fresh, as you said. We're getting a makeover. We're starting fresh, and we need you guys to like be open about what this new game. We don't even have to call it a Metro Prime game. This new game is, then I'll go in with an open mind. Why not?
This is exactly why I am open-minded about this, is I just want to see what is Nintendo's
intention,
vision and intention.
Yes, exactly.
Because again, like we know, like nothing is done without purpose. Nothing is done. No idea gets through without being really rigorously put through its paces and challenged by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And especially Mr. Tanabe, he will challenge you. He will. He will get in your face and he will challenge this stuff.
He's been doing that for 20 years.
And Retro has the relationship with him, which was like, we can challenge you too.
We can challenge you back.
So all of these things are really going through the crucible of that, and it's like I'm just interested to see what comes out of that.
Yes.
So
exactly.
However I feel about that one character from that 1 hour of gameplay, like that's really what I want to see. And maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, but as of now, today,
we don't know.
That's what intrigues me.
Yeah, we don't know because we want to understand what their true intention is, but we cannot do that until we play this game and really experience it for ourselves.
Right.
But I think that is what we need to do. What I need to do for sure is like shed all previous conception or any sort of like identifying thing that was like, this is what makes a Metroid Prime game. This is the checklist of items that makes a Metroid Prime game a Metroid Prime game. We're going to throw that list away. We're throwing that into the trash can because I think they've thrown it into the trash can. Like, they're just starting over. So if they're going to, with Metroid Prime 4, tell me through this game what they believe Metroid Prime is now, then sure, tell me what it is now. I will accept this, and I will play Metroid Prime 4, and if I don't like this game, then I will know for the future, like, I don't like Metroid Prime games anymore.
And again, that would have been great to show people maybe 3 months ago versus 3 weeks till the game comes out, but you were too busy showing people how to use a mouse on a Switch too. So that was...
You were showing me the latest...
The point of that.
Kirby Air Ride machine for the 15th time.
Now see, this is where I had a point of concern with you late last week was... You were going down a very negative path, and I know you're a very stubborn person. So it's like, if this actually is something that ends up being good, will she admit and be able to change her mind? Or will she just be locked into, I said I hate this, I'm gonna hate it no matter what? Is you're all talking like, oh, this is the next Brothership. It's like, oh boy.
We don't talk about that game.
We've got a long way. Oh no, I said it. We've got a long way to go, to be at that point.
Right, but I think it was my problem. It was my own fault because again, I had all these preconceived conceptions of what I thought a Metroid Prime game is.
Right.
But Nintendo is not thinking about Metroid Prime 4 in that way.
Yeah.
Like, I could not reconcile that because again, it's been 18 years, they haven't told me anything. So how could I reconcile that? Yeah, I had to come to that conclusion on my own. But, I think that's what we have to do.
You were a mere 7-year-old when that game came out.
I was a baby.
My gosh.
I was a baby.
As our Gen Z correspondent.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what it is. Like, just throw away what you think a Metroid Prime game is, because that's not what this game is gonna be.
Right.
This is a whole new thing that they're doing.
Right.
They are changing fundamentally what a Metroid Prime game is.
So that makes it very curious why we had multiple trailers that did not show us that.
Yes.
And doesn't help our reaction. When it's like, we know what this game is. We're going to get kind of the cherry on top 3 weeks before, and then we get this, wait, it's actually not that at all.
It's not what I expected.
It's not that at all, yes.
But I can see that you're trying to take this in a completely new direction.
Right. So let's talk about Samus now, because... Again, we haven't seen it, but this could be kind of a reboot of how we think of Samus, how we perceive Samus, and maybe that's what she needs, or maybe that's what Nintendo feels that they need
Nintendo thinks that she needs, yeah.
So, something that we may see. If there's all these Federation people chatting in her ear, is Samus going to be more talkative? And obviously, in the bit that we saw, like she was not talkative. She's given the stink eye to Miles McKenzie.
She's nodded at him.
She's given him the brush off with like a little nod.
A little nod.
Is she just going to be giving them all the silent treatment all the time, or like how is she going to interact with these people who she's presumably going to build some sort of bond with? Through this experience.
I mean, there was literally a line in the trailer where one of the Federation soldiers says to Samus, I hope we are friends after this. So presumably, they built a bond to make that character say that to her. It wasn't like she gave this person the silent treatment, because why would she say, I want to be friends with you if you basically said nothing to this person the entire time, right? There has to be some kind of relationship that happens.
And there are people who are not talkative, but that's different from a person who does not talk. And
here we go. This is Link all over again.
I just don't want them to get this character into a place like Link where it's like, this character can never talk. And it becomes this kind of weird thing where it's like, all right, we're kind of limiting ourselves in a lot of ways now.
She has said the Chozo language once.
She's talked.
She's talked.
She's talked plenty.
Yeah, and she's also screamed.
But are we open to her becoming more talk? I don't think we're thinking about going full Other M, but being a bit more. Is that something you are open to?
I mean, again, if you're completely changing what Metroid Prime is, give me a Samus that you think fits into your new paradigm of what a Metroid Prime is.
Right.
Give me that Samus that you've intended to fit into this new universe.
Right.
And I will decide after I see her in this new universe whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I think the tone of Other M just didn't work, but I think, you could see her talking more, being very, very seasoned, very hardened, maybe a bit jaded by her experiences, and very skeptical of like, who are these losers? I could
gotta bail you guys out
see
again.
something like that. But I feel like if it's just like she's just kind of like nodding them off the whole time. It's like,
It's a little awkward.
it might be a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's a little
honestly.
awkward. Yeah, but basically what they have to do is they have to insert her into this new universe that they've built around her. They have to give her a personality that makes sense within the constructs of the universe that they're setting up for this character. They have to, they can't throw away, maybe they can, and maybe they will, I don't know. But hopefully they don't throw away everything we know about Samus.
Yeah.
Like, she has characteristics that are very identifying to her. So maybe they have to work hard to incorporate that into this new universe, but that's work that they have to do on this character.
This is a story approach that we've seen a lot of times where it's like everybody gets thrown together in this unusual setting and we have to, we got to work together to figure, and sometimes that means like heroes and villains come together too. So it's like, is Psylocke really the ultimate villain, or is Psylocke going to be helping you at the end because it's like, oh no, it's the super mega crazy Metroid now, we got to kill that thing.
Yeah, we have a common enemy.
Right, like we saw in the 80s, Marvel did Secret Wars, which was this limited series where, again, all the heroes and villains got thrown onto this weird planet, and it was fun to see like the combinations. Like, oh, how is this character going to interact with that character? I bet they're going to have a big fight.
Here comes Ridley.
Exactly. Is Ridley going to be in this game?
Here comes Kraid.
I mean, I haven't seen anybody asking
Kraid
that.
is a good guy. Samus and Kraid, link arms,
arm in arm,
do a little dance together,
putting their issues behind
while
them.
Miles McKenzie plays the fiddle.
Yeah, one characterization of Samus that I do kind of struggle with is of her as a bounty hunter. And again, like we were saying, like she seems more often to just be cast as like a superhero, somebody who swoops in to save the day more often than not. It's
and always like in this very like she's all powerful, nothing can take down Samus.
Right, and it's like the Galactic Federation, like they're basically the man. Like if you're a bounty hunter, you are concerned with yourself. You're a bit selfish.
Yeah.
Like you're less concerned of like the good versus evil. It's like I need this money.
Right.
So
doesn't seem like she's struggling for money.
So it's like if you're always coming in to bail out the Galactic Federation, it's like I'm not sure that's living up to the ethos of a bounty hunter.
Right.
But I
guess more so like a mercenary, like a gun for hire.
Did they hire her to come in, or did she just come in out of the goodness of her heart?
I don't know.
Oh no, they're in trouble.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like they may need to do that work to recharacterize her.
Right, and that's
in the constructs of the universe that they're building.
That's something I always wanted to see more out of her. Of like her kind of like day-to-day bounty. Like who is she taking these bounties from? What is she doing with this money or whatever that she is accumulating?
Yeah.
Who are the sordid underbelly that she has to interface with to get this done? And we were like, who are famous bounty hunters?
Yeah, we can only come up with a few.
We came up with Boba Fett, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and
the man with no name.
The Clint Eastwood character from those old westerns.
The Western,
that was literally the only like notable bounty hunters we could think of.
Yeah, Boba Fett has a heart of gold, though, right? Would you say?
I don't want. That's something else that we won't be talking about. The Book of Boba Fett. We won't be talking about that.
That's also bad.
No, that's off limits as well.
Okay.
So I think that was maybe something that was easy to say, like in the 80s or 90s, like, oh, she's a bounty hunter.
It was like an offhand little line of the script.
That sounds cool, but now it's like, well, she's doing something else. But it's like I just want to know like more, like what actually is she now?
Well, they have to do this work because again, if they're trying to reset the series, do the big reboot. They want to get in these new people. You're going to have to reintroduce Samus to them.
Yeah.
They might not even know who she is and that she was a bounty hunter. They're only going to know.
She seems very famous.
She seems very famous. She seems very powerful. Obviously, she can do the things.
Yeah.
She's exploding the things.
Right.
Things are going boom when Samus is around.
Right, but if she was a true, like, wouldn't these guys maybe be a little more like wary of her?
Like, she's not really one of us?
If she's on the moral gray line of like, she might just off me because it's easier for her to get off this planet without me.
That's true.
Because I'm Miles McKenzie and I'm loser dead weight.
That's true.
He seems very happy to see her. So.
Yeah, and she certainly is well known among the Federation soldiers.
Right.
But again, that's work that they have to do to recharacterize and reintroduce Samus to people because. The one-liner about her being a bounty hunter, whatever that means, is not going to really work when you've constructed this universe around her where there's other people that have had an interaction with her. So you need to tell the player, like, well, what was that interaction? What is she to them? How do they feel about her? Do they trust her? Is she good or bad? You know, they have to do that work to set her up in that way.
Yeah.
So again, since I've thrown away all my preconceptions of what a Metroid Prime game is and also who Samus is, I'm looking for Nintendo and Retro to tell me exactly who they want me to know about Samus. They have to do that work.
A true Samus bounty hunting game, I'd be up for that. I'd be down for that. That sounds cool.
If that's who she is, if that's what they want to introduce her as, if that's what they want to canonize her as, great.
Obviously, that's not what this is.
But tell me. Just tell me.
I want to revisit some game mechanics that we were skeptical of, namely the psychic powers and Vi-o-la. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about those now?
I mean, they both seem to be non-distracting, which is maybe the best thing for them both. Like the psychic powers seems to be, you know, an interesting mechanic for puzzle solving. There's a lot of like puzzles you're doing, even with some boss fights. You know, it's like that classic things like what was the last thing you learned to do with your psychic powers? Use that on that boss.
Do it three times.
Do it 3 times on this boss. I'm like, okay. So it seems to be like very, very much that. Like it's functioning for that purpose. So fine, great, sounds good. Just as long as it's not like tedious, you know, I'm totally fine with it. Also, Vi-o-la seems like it's not like this tedious thing where it's like, oh gosh, I'm stuck on this bike. Oh no, like this is going to be annoying. I just want to get off the bike and do some other stuff, but I am trapped on here for some reason. Doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like you're kind of using it to transport yourself from place to place from in that desert hub area. Doesn't seem to be completely like derailing you from what you're doing in the game, so it seems okay.
I'm excited for both of these. I think in our video last week you compared the space that Vi-o-la is in to Hyrule Field.
Yeah, it's like
apparently that's what some people from Nintendo were saying in those demos. So you were right.
Oh, there you go.
So good job by you.
It totally reminded me of that.
Yeah, and I think this is something where there's a lot more for us to see. Of like, what exactly are you doing on Vi-o-la? What is happening in that desert area? I think there's a lot of fun things kind of in between the main chunks of the game that are going to be fun to do on Vi-o-la. So I'm actually excited for that now. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way to like get the amiibo and all of that, but I'm excited to play it. And then the psychic powers I think are good. I think this gives them some license to introduce some new stuff. I think that boss gameplay we saw of like, you know, aim the shot around the boss is interesting and new. And I think there will be more of these that we haven't seen.
Yeah, as long as it controls well and it doesn't feel, you know, sluggish, it feels like the gameplay is really seamless and smooth.
Right.
As long as like that part is there, and you won't be able to know that until you touch the controller and feel it for yourself, then I think it's great.
Yeah. Along those lines, so you know, we were talking about a few episodes ago about at Kirby Air Riders, where it's like, all right, we probably know like 90% of what's in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe more even.
Right.
What percentage of Metroid Prime 4 do you say we know about?
10%.
Cleanly now.
10%.
That's a lot.
10 to 15%.
That's a lot we don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot we don't know.
So
I think there's a lot we don't know.
You know, whether that was Nintendo's intention or not, or they just ran out of time.
Right.
We're going into this pretty
blind. Yeah,
and again, like the question of like, did Ridley get sucked through this thing?
I know,
like,
right?
what exactly is?
Who else are there? Classic enemies there?
Like Sylux, spent very little time in all the marketing on Sylux, besides you know having him show up at the end of trailers with some Metroids.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. Someone was like, "Mackenzie's actually Sylux in disguise," and I was like, "That's freaking hilarious!" So could you imagine? Man. I was pretending to be a bumbling idiot, but I'm actually Sylux. That would be so funny.
Okay,
hey, I don't know.
That's cool.
Anything is possible. Reboot.
Yeah, this. I think the possibilities are exciting. But what would you say you are the most excited if you had to pinpoint one thing?
I think now that I've had, you know, time to think about stuff over the weekend and read more and just look at more stuff, like I'm just excited to see how they want this universe to look now. How, like, it just seems like we are literally restarting this from scratch. So I'm just tell me. I want to, you know, after I play Metroid Prime 4, I think I would be coming away definitively with a decision with a decision on whether or not I enjoy these games moving forward. So it's either going to be like I love the new direction of Metroid Prime, or I don't like the direction of new Metroid Prime, and I probably won't be playing another one of these games. maybe I won't even be alive because it's going to take them 18 years to make another one. I might be dead by then, but whatever. But I think that's the thing that I'm most excited about. Now that I've like wrapped my head around what they're actually trying to do, which is completely reboot this entire series, like, great, then just tell me what you're trying to do here.
Sure. I think for me, it was like I said, it was just like, I just want to understand what their intention is with this game and kind of how are they breaking away from maybe, what they were locked in on before. And again, it's something that's kind of, we have some hints, but I don't think we know the full scope or scale of that.
Exactly.
So that's, I mean, in addition, like, obviously I'm excited to play the game. I'm obviously excited to try these things out, and I'm excited to see the game.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
So amazing.
If anything, it's just going to be
beautiful.
But
if I had to pinpoint one thing, I would say that.
Yeah. Could this be Metroid's Breath of the Wild moment?
Yes.
Could it be?
I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Oh boy.
Right now, you have to say something nice about Miles McKenzie. You've said a lot of mean things about this guy.
Well,
if he was here right now, what's one nice thing you could say to his face?
He seems pretty smart.
Okay.
Like, he definitely...
It's about to get nerdy up in here.
He definitely is good at his job.
All right. The thing that I would say is, and this goes for all those characters, I think those characters look really good. Like
the human faces look good, right?
Right, and it's not like completely like
real, like photo. It's not like Death Stranding.
No, like they have taken some liberties with like human anatomy to make them a little bit more exaggerated,
like animated or cartoon.
Which is interesting. Which is interesting. And again, if we ever potentially see Samus's face in this game, what might that look like? I wouldn't say I've loved the look of like Samus's face in the past Prime games. It's been a little. I felt like it's a little generic, so maybe they could. I don't know.
Give her a little bit more realism.
Well, I don't know if they're going with something that's a bit more exaggerated with these faces. Maybe hers will be as well. But I do think just technically, like that's something we don't really see from Nintendo. Like
human faces
ever.
Yeah, ever.
So I was pretty impressed.
Some of those other soldiers look really good too.
That's what I mean.
All of them. Footage.
All of them when you see the faces.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is like some good good graphics.
Well done.
Well done. Yeah, art direction is very, very good.
So you mentioned a world where you do not exist, where Metroid Prime games do not exist anymore.
Oh no.
What is the bar that this game needs to hit for Nintendo to say, okay, this game was successful enough for us to keep doing these?
I think this game needs to break out in the way Breath of the Wild does for them.
So 30 million copies?
No, not like that.
Here's the headline. Former Nintendo exective says.
No.
Metroid Prime 4 must sell 30 million.
The base of the base, the benchmark. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the word here. The benchmark of the games are different. Obviously, the audience that you started out for Zelda before Breath of the Wild is a different number, different size than the audience you started out with. Right. Metroid, significantly smaller Metroid audience, but the scaling of it, I think, is still relevant. Where it's like, this is just what I think they're thinking of is like, we need this to be a breakout hit. We have every opportunity here to do that. We have the new hardware. It is selling so well. People are excited. They're itching to play something. This is now one of the games that really shows off the capabilities of this hardware to the max. Like, look how beautiful, look how great it runs at 120 frames per second, 4K. It uses the mouse controls. It does all these things that should make this game break out into a finally give it that kind of like breakout moment where it's no longer like a niche audience. It's no longer selling worse than an indie Metroidvania game. It's no longer doing those things where it's like, oh gosh, this is such a beloved franchise, but it's struggling sales-wise. And I think they need that scaling to happen. They need it to be a breakout hit.
Yeah.
Like what Breath of the Wild did with Zelda.
Yeah, I think, you need to get in the range of Dread for them to even consider that. And what was Dread was like the biggest selling, and it wasn't even a huge number.
It was not even a huge number.
But that became the biggest selling.
What was it, 10?
No, I don't think it was even that.
Was it 8?
It was we're in the single digits for sure.
Oh, jeez.
For them to even consider it. But again, it's like, I don't know. I mean, Retro Studios kind of got shoehorned into this project. Like,
know.
They
really did.
They had spent a long time cycling on all sorts of different projects.
Yeah.
And I think they were kind of done with it. They were done with this, and then they moved on to Donkey Kong, and then they were kind of done with that. And it was like, well, what can our next big thing be? And then it was like, hey, we need you to do this. They got the call.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we actually now we have to do this.
And they really didn't really have a choice.
We need you for one last job. It's like an 80s action movie. Because you're the best. I'm retired. We need the best.
George Clooney called them for the Ocean's 11.
But it's Mr. Takahashi.
But it's Mr. Takahashi, yeah. Who does not look like George Clooney, by the way.
No, he doesn't. But we can imagine.
We can imagine.
So there's scenarios. It's like, okay, well, this sold enough for us to make more, but it might not be. We need to find like a new developer to pick up the torch because I was like, all right, Retro, you did us a real solid. You saved us on this project that was a mess. Now we'll talk to you about whatever the other project is. But maybe they could be a little faster to figure that out. But who knows? Like, if this really does break out and we're in the 10 million plus, then it's like, oh yeah, we love this again. This was our true calling all along.
Maybe
Retro Studios. We're the Metroid Prime studio.
And then at that point, they would have done the reboot.
Yeah.
They would have established now what a Metroid Prime game in the modern era of the year 2025 on new hardware should be and will be in the future.
Right.
And then you can go from there. It's just hard right now because they have to do the work of the reboot.
Yeah.
And that's just a lot. That's a lot to do. You're saving this project. It's been 18 years. People have all these expectations. There's all this pressure to make this into a breakout hit. It's this launch, it's in the launch year for Switch 2. Yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of different factors that make it not fun to work on and not fun to do.
Yeah.
But hopefully after it's all worth it and they do a great job. I'm choosing optimism. They do a great job. They reboot it. Everything is wonderful. Wow, the new Metroid Prime universe is great. Now I understand what a Metroid Prime game should be and what they intended all along. Isn't this wonderful? It sold 30 million copies. It won't. It sold 30 million copies. This is a huge hit. Now we know how to move forward. Now we know how.
Something's going to have to change because, again, you're going to have to, is this the best thing for Retro to do? But then also Tanabe, remember we did that episode of, who's retiring?
He just celebrated a birthday.
In 8 years, is he going to still be even at Nintendo or is he going to have hung it up?
He's 68, and even I think.
He's like, I wrapped up working on these games. I'm moving on to other, and he got sucked back. This whole team got sucked back in to do this game. So it's like, who's going to have the heart? Even after this exhausting process, I imagine these people are so exhausted and tired of this. Please give them a break.
They must be exhausted.
And if you go online, you'll see a lot of numbers of this game cost this much money. It's like, well, this was not a normal situation where it's like, all right, we started on one and then we had to stop and then we had to start from scratch and it took forever and it was in the pandemic and all the above.
Yeah.
I don't.
You can't really look at that.
That's not one where it's like we need to make every cent back, for however much it is.
I think more importantly, they need to bring in a new audience and they need to reset the series.
Right.
That's less. That's the money part of it is less concern for them. The rebooting and seeing if it can finally find that breakout audience is the number one goal.
Yeah.
And that will be whether or not they continue on.
Yes.
And also whether or not they, stick with Retro or find a new person to pick up the torch. Now that they set the game on the right path. Finally again.
Our final question before we move on. This is tough. Can you predict the Metacritic score for Metroid Prime 4?
This is really tough. And we do have an example here of some of the other Metacritic scores. I mean, Metroid Prime, 97.
Metroid Prime 2, 92. Metroid Prime 3, 90. So it is going down a little bit as time goes on, but those are all 90 plus.
Yes, 90 plus. I mean, even the remastered, 94. I mean, these are crazy high scores.
Yes.
Crazy high scores. Unfortunately, I do not think it's going to be in the 90s. I'm going to say 83.
83. Why is that?
I think that they're going to do their darndest to reboot this thing and make it try to find that more mainstream audience. But I think people are going to reject. Some people are going to reject that.
I agree. We've been saying this a lot, but I think this is going to be divisive for reviewers, and some people will like it, and some people are really not going to like it. And it doesn't take a lot of those reviews of people really not like it to bring it down. So I'm a little bit more optimistic than you are about the overall score, but I'm going to say 86.
Okay, that's fair. I think in that range of low to mid 80s is probably going to be a pretty safe guess for this game. But you have to look at it with what their intentions are versus what your preconceptions are.
So it's interesting because again, you comparing it to the game that shall not be named, that the IGN review for that game became this rallying cry of like, this game stinks. And,
well, that game actually did stink.
And let me continue. The main point that reviewer made in that review was this game misunderstands what fill in the blank series is all about. In this case, did they misunderstand or did they just want to go, like, we knew, but we're going somewhere else. We're going beyond.
Ooh, maybe that's why it's called that. Figured it. This is where all the pieces line up.
We're going beyond.
Well, if they wanted to do that, then they have to do 3 things. Number 1 is they have to take it all the way. Like you were saying, like, then I don't think did they take it far enough. You cannot don't live your life in the middle. That's the boring part. Take a risk and go all the way, or don't do that, because you're going to end up it being something that confuses people.
Yes.
The other thing that maybe the ship has sailed here is they should have brought us along this journey with them if they were really trying to tell us, hey, it's not like we didn't understand what y'all thought a Metroid Prime game is. We know what you think it is. We want to challenge that and take it a different direction and see if we can do something different and still be awesome. They didn't do that. With 4 weeks left to go, they finally told us some stuff, and we were confused. So that may be too late now, but maybe the game itself can like get us there, right? Like propel us to understanding what their new direction is. And I think thirdly, it's like, don't throw the baby with the bathwater, as they say, which is like, there are parts of Metroid that maybe you shouldn't reject. Like we talked a lot about Samus's characterization and Samus's history and maybe some of the other little things that, we can take with us from these Metroid Prime games. Like, I get it. You're trying to reboot this thing. You're trying to find this mass audience. Great. We want the series to succeed. Obviously, we love the series. But pick and choose the right things to take with you. Like, Breath of the Wild did a great job of that, for example. They took the best things of Zelda and, like, made it different and made it cool and brought in that new audience. So, I don't know. Do all those things.
You were really prepared for that question. You gave like a Reggie Fils-Aimé, let me tell you 3 things. Boom, boom, boom.
I literally came up with that on the spot. There's no notes. There's no notes. I have Metacritic scores in front of me.
I'm impressed.
But that's what I would say to this.
No, you have Black Friday deals up on your screen. We asked our Patreon subscribers what they thought.
Yeah.
And the responses are interesting.
They are so oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
38% said,
whoa,
I love what I've seen.
Yeah, okay.
The exact same number, 38% said, I have mixed feelings about what I have seen. 8% said, I'm disappointed in what I've seen. 4% said they are on a media blackout. And then 13% said, I haven't been paying close attention to this game, so I don't know.
13%. Wow.
13, yes.
Quite much bigger than...
Okay. Michael Mazur says, I'm so excited for this game. I was initially worried about Nintendo's very light marketing for the game, as if they were hiding something. But as we get closer to release, it truly seems like they had a busy release schedule and have opted to selectively reveal information in trailers leading up to the launch. I understand why people are hesitant to jump on board with this, considering how long it's been since it was announced, and this is Retro's first new game in over 10 years. But they have a solid formula they seem to be following. They're trying new things like the motorcycle. The game is obviously beautiful and runs well too. At worst, this will be just as good as any other Prime game, and that's more than enough to justify being excited for this.
Well said, well said.
Jameson Eisenberg says, I plan on muting the dialogue and just reading it. Try to keep the ambience of old Prime and Prime Remaster.
Okay.
That's an option. And then finally, the quiet one says, Metroid fans live a tenuous existence. We are not guaranteed the next installment like a Zelda, Mario, Kirby, or even Fire Emblem. The fact that we got this game at all is a miracle, and for that I am grateful and beyond excited for Prime 4.
Yeah, Metroid fans. Metroid fans are like the saddest of all of them. They're such a nice group too. Well, they're like... But they live in this, like, suffering.
We've really seen the dark side of all fan bases this year.
But I think the Metroid fans are a bit justified in this, honestly. Like, out of all of the fan bases, like, that are just being little brats, and I want to slap, like, they're the ones that I feel like, man, you've really had it. You've had a hard time.
Okay.
It's been a long time. finally you get this new game and it's like so different than what you expected, and Nintendo's not marketing it, and it's all confusing, and you just have to like take it.
Yes.
Like a good boy and girl,
yes.
you know?
To cap off this segment, we are going to be opening the Metroid Prime 4 amiibo.
Not the Vi-o-la one.
No, we have this one. But first, we have to shout out our sponsors. That's a tease. That's a tease. This episode is sponsored by Uncommon Goods. The countdown is on. Do you hear that? Tick, 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 tick,
yes. The alarmo is ticking away back there.
Holiday shopping season is officially here, and Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't find anywhere else. Don't wait. The most meaningful gifts get scooped up fast, and now is the perfect time to cross your names off of your list.
You found something and you put it into this document as a way to tell me to get it.
Look at this. This is the Major League Baseball Sunday Slugger ceramic ice cream bowl set. And this reminded me, like when you used to go to a baseball game.
They would give it to you.
They would give it to you in like a little plastic bowl.
You can also get nachos in it.
And yes, you don't have to just put ice cream. But I was like, oh my gosh, like this like unlocked a memory of like I had this for the San Francisco Giants. They have the same.
They have the Giants.
They have all pick your team. But I was like, yes. I was just browsing. I was like, yes, I immediately found something cool.
That's the cool thing about Uncommon Goods is like they have a lot of these hand curated gifts from small like independent sellers, and a lot of them are very personalized. Like you love Bay Area sports, so going there and finding you a little upside down baseball cap ice cream bowl of the SF Giants or like whatever. That's fun. That's cool because it's like something that, you know, you have a memory of from your childhood. Right. And they have tons of the college towns. They have a lot of gifts around that. A lot of gifts around like if someone is like a cat lover or they have, you know, like I love my dogs. They have like a lot of pet gifts.
Yes.
They have a lot of those like personalized gifts for you to get.
Yeah, that's what's great is like they give you a good starting point.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, they have categories for book lovers, history buffs.
Yeah.
You know, foodies, people who like to garden, like all of that stuff. It's like, all right, I know enough to get me started, and it's not just like, so here's something for mom, and you're just like, this is not what I was looking for. You don't have to worry about that. So you want to get a good reaction when you give the gift. You just want to be like, oh great, and then on to the next one. You want somebody like, oh, you put some thought and you know who I am.
And why get somebody a gift if you're not going to be thoughtful about it, you know?
Exactly.
It's like, what's the point of that? You know?
Exactly. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/KittenKrysta. That's uncommongoods.com/KittenKrysta for 15% off. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
We'll put the link right over here and the description box below, and we'll have a QR code for you to scan.
Speaking of boxes,
let me unbox.
Here we go.
This
time for you to unbox this. This is disappointing. Look at this. I don't like how now Amiibo just has the generic backing card.
Oh.
It's like
what did it used to have?
I used to have something that was a bit more specific, like use this Amiibo to get blank. Now it's don't even care. Just it just comes with a QR code to put it on eBay.
It does have a nice little background for the game. Beyond it has like the little galaxy.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
All right.
Okay. I don't like that it doesn't tear cleanly.
Oh,
like, it tears,
you messed it up already.
It tears and then it like leaves like this part, which is annoying. Hello?
All right. So this was $30.
Okay.
That's a bit steep. Can I reach this up? I don't think I can do that.
Oh, that one up there?
I want to do a comparison. I don't think I can do that though.
Okay, so.
All right, so let's check this out. Our audio listeners are loving this right now.
Okay, so this is not like a lot bigger, I don't think, than the typical Samus amiibos that we've seen before, but it is on this base that is like a rock.
Bigger. That's bigger.
Yeah, it's that the base that she's standing on because of the pose that she's in is pretty big, I would say.
Yeah.
And the quality of it, I think, is pretty. What is this?
Can I see?
There's something.
Defects?
Yeah.
No.
Look, there's like a little speck of something on it.
Oh my! This is what my $30 gets me. I think that can come off actually.
Can you like peel it off?
Yeah, I mean it's a cool pose. I do think it's a cool pose. Like the metallic paint and stuff is cool. It's just very detailed. I don't know if this is worth $30, but I like it. Here we are. I like it.
I do like how if you look at the soles of her feet, you can see like the tread on her boots. It's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, well, back it goes on the shelf.
Oh, okay. But put it on Aaron Hash's head.
I don't think that's going to work.
Oh, that's too bad.
Anyways.
We can have a Samus hat.
No. Time to talk about some games we're playing.
Okay.
I know you want to talk about Ball Pit, but I'm making you talk about Hyrule Warriors first.
I'm getting bored.
Oh no!
Of Hyrule
I thought you said you were so
Warriors.
close to the end.
I know.
You weren't?
I feel like I am because they keep telling me that the final battle is coming.
That's how
but
they
I
keep you hooked.
Falling asleep.
Literally falling asleep.
Literally falling asleep.
Yikes.
And I don't know. It's not a good sign when I fall asleep.
I wouldn't say so, no.
Yeah, it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, and the story is not developing fast enough to keep me
I've seen some people now that
engaged.
people are wrapping this game up, being like, oh, "Wait, there was not as satisfying a payoff to this as I wanted."
And it doesn't. That's what is leading me towards. Like I had this prediction, and I'm still not going to say here because I don't know if it's right or wrong. Eventually, I'm going to finish this game, but they kind of like set it up in an interesting way in the beginning of the story. And then as you are, like, I think I'm solidly, like, in the middle of the game, you know? And they introduce so many characters that I just don't care about. The story is so slow to develop. And it's like every mission is the same story setup. Ganon's forces have taken over this region. You have to go stop them. It's like, well, what else is new? And it's like there's not a lot of, like, tension or...
Yeah.
You would think that if, like, Ganon did this, especially for Rauru, like if Ganon did this to you and this is where you are now compared to where you were like a month ago, living happily in your palace, you'd be pissed and sad, but mainly pissed. But there's like no emotional payoff really. There's really not a lot of like I'm so motivated to like to do this because of these like really personal things that happened to me. And there's other characters in the game where like very personal things have happened to them because of what Ganon did. And like the emotional payoff is so not there. It's like the Zora has a really interesting, Kia has a really interesting story that they set up and then there's like literally no payoff. And you're like, okay. So that's...
Could there still be a payoff?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I keep falling asleep. So I don't know. So I'm getting bored because they haven't paid off anything for like the last, 7 missions.
Yeah.
Maybe the last mission they finally pay it all off, but it's like, why'd you wait so long? You know?
I would have argued that maybe the Dynasty Warriors studio was not completely equipped to pay off a story of this magnitude, but that's just
really
me.
shouldn't have said like all that stuff about this is the canon,
The canonical
whatever.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be, they did such a better job in Age of Calamity though. So weird.
Yeah,
that story was so much more. There was so much more tension, and there was so much more character development for that story.
I had a good time. I had a good time playing with you. It's a fun co-op game.
It is a fun co-op
game.
game.
That game share was really slick, actually.
It actually worked so well.
That was pretty nice.
I was like, wow, this is really nice.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
You'd never done that before,
No.
right? No, you do have this little like border on your game, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's easy to ignore.
But it is what it is. But yeah, it did just kind of like, I was like, yeah, this game is kind of what I thought it was.
It's a little bare bones, you said.
Where...
Your words.
Yeah, like the stages are pretty small, the missions are not very complex. I didn't see like... They've been good at introducing like more strategic elements in some of these games. Like I didn't really see that here. It was just kind of like run to the next clump of red guys and go kill them good.
It's like this, I'm fighting literally my like 24th Hinox.
Right, and then they also it played very similar to the Age of Calamity, which I've shared my issues with that, and I was like, oh, this is another one of those. So again, I'm not going to run out and get this game. I may get it when it goes on some sort of deep discount if that ever happens. I am curious for you to give us a final verdict. If you can just stay awake, we could drink some Red Bulls or something.
Maybe I'll get a coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm like literally playing this game like in the morning, you know?
No.
And I've just woken up and I just fall back asleep. Yeah, I end up like falling back asleep and then my Switch is like over here. I'm like, okay,
Jeez.
I don't know.
That's tough.
I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Maybe I'm just tired.
All right, well, let's talk about a game that's amping you up, Ball Pit.
I'm not falling asleep playing this because I'm not blinking.
You can't.
I can't
You
even
literally physically
can't even blink.
No. Ball Pit.
So we started playing Ball Pit again during our gameplay video. You were talking about this game, but you hadn't actually played that much yourself because you had the one hand situation.
No, I finally was able to get back into it.
Now that you have two hands, sort of, you're back.
I'm back in the ball pit.
Back in the ball pit.
Yes.
But I really liked what I saw when you were playing the game, when we were playing the game together during the gameplay video, and it was like super interesting what they're doing with this game, where it's taking, you know, these genres and mashing it together. It is like that classic like break, like that that really silly, like, what is that, Astral Brick or whatever that game is called. Breakout, yeah. And it has all this stuff that's making it more like a roguelike, like a Hades game where you're picking these power-ups. And it does do the same thing that a Hades game does, where it gives you just enough per run where you feel like you're making progress, so that you always want to go back for that second, third, fourth, 20th run. And they also have smartly put in this little hub world that you kind of interact with before you go on those runs, where you get your resources, or you can level up your character stats. You can even get new characters. So very similar to like the crossroads in Hades 2, where you're like, oh, I got some stuff to do in between these runs that's helping me along. Like, I just unlocked something super cool where you can take 2 characters into a run.
How does that work?
So you basically have like the main character in the front, and then your partner like standing right behind you, and you inherit that person's like special abilities.
But they're shooting twice as many balls?
They shoot, so it's usually like that person comes with like the frozen ball. You'll get started with both those characters' special.
Can they take damage?
Stuff.
Can they die?
No. But they can level up.
Oh.
So if you're power leveling somebody that's new, I've been doing that, like pairing it with like a character that's higher level.
Oh, that's neat.
So you like power level them.
It's
so cool.
That is something I like, is like they do introduce new things as you get deeper into the game.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, here's this here. Oh, I got the fireball again. Big deal. It's like,
No.
I have to say, wait, have I seen that before? I better try that out. That could be neat.
Yeah, you and I both really like the character where it picks the power-ups for you.
Oh, you like that one too?
I really do, because same thing. I'm like, oh, I'm learning that these combinations are not what I expected.
Yeah.
I'm like learning some strategy here. So that's been
it's kind of a cell
fun.
phone though. Like, wait, I'm tearing up the game when I'm playing as the character where I don't have to make any decisions.
Yeah, I suck.
Wait, this is a bad reflection on me.
I'm good at this game, so I'm doing great. I've gotten down to the.
How many characters would you say you've unlocked?
Probably like 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah, 10 plus.
I'm probably like 8 or so.
Yeah. I just unlocked 2 more last night, which is pretty cool.
I mean, they're already very zany and varied. I'm like, how...
They're scary looking. They have like no eyeballs.
How else can they keep changing this up for all these characters?
It's hilarious. The character, like the little descriptions they have for each one is really funny too. It's like really, it is very zany. And you also can unlock like blueprints, right? To like augment your character, the character base stats. So I've been like focused on like leveling those up, so you just are more powerful in general with your base stats. And then, like each of the stages, they're all like a little bit different. They all have a different like. Obviously the bosses are different, but they all have a different like little quirk. Like the one that we were in had like all these lasers coming down. The next one you have these like little puddles of like poison.
Is it the fourth area?
Yeah, the mushroom swampy area.
Level 3 is like a real like wake up call. Like, oh, you thought you were sailing through this game? Think again.
But it is like Hades, where like if you ever...
You just get past it,
If you'll get past it, and then you'll be doing the next level for a while, and that seems hard, and then when you go back
it's a piece of cake.
Level 3, I'm like, oh, this is so easy. Like, no problem at all. This boss, who cares?
Right.
But you can't blink. You have to, like, just stare at your screen.
What's your favorite ball so far?
My favorite ball... You know, I do like that vampire ball. I know you said it was stupid.
Why don't you level it up? It gets more useful.
And you have to fuse it with something else, and it becomes really powerful. Yeah. Like, I was basically taking no damage towards the ends of one of my runs because the vampire ball was so powerful that it was like... And then you can get that thing where you can heal past your max life. So I was just like way past my max life, and I was like, "Come at me," and it was totally fine. It was great.
I like the AOE ones. I think I like the earthquake ball because sometimes it's like you're in a pinch. It's like, oh my gosh, all these guys are getting close. I need to deal with a bunch of them at once. or the one where it's like they blow up and then they hurt the guys next to them.
I like that one too. The pressure valve. That's a good one.
I'm having a sad realization because there's sometimes you can get these like statue minions to come out. I'm like, I really like them at first. I'm like, these guys
They're really weak.
These guys might actually suck.
They suck.
Sadly.
You shouldn't take those. Yeah.
Can you fuse them with? There's never a chance to fuse them, unfortunately.
You can't.
That's a bummer.
I do like fusing the lasers to you can get horizontal and vertical lasers.
See, that's where I was getting in trouble because I'm on the level where they shoot lasers, and I was like, wait, is that my laser or their laser?
Their lasers are always at a diagonal. Your laser is unless you get the multi-directional fuse, and then it gets a little squirrely in there.
I'll avoid the laser on that.
Gets a little squirrely.
Yes.
It's so fun.
It is.
It's addictively fun.
It's with Vampire Survivors, I initially was super into it, and then I had kind of like I was like, wait. Is this game actually good, or is this just like tickling some part of my brain where like the numbers going up? And is this actually a game, or is this like am I just fooling myself?
Is it like Donkey Kong Bonanza's punching the crystals?
So
that feeling?
So I was way into it, and then I kind of got out of it. But then they released that Castlevania DLC.
Yeah, and then you got back in.
That sucked me way back in. I was like, no, I actually respect this game a lot.
It's
like,
good.
I understand.
Such a good game.
I get this
so
game a
what
lot
if it
better.
tickles your brain?
This game does have more like you're aiming, you're positioning your guy.
Yeah.
There's a bit more to it, I would say, than just base.
And the prep work
Vampire
too.
Survivors, yes, all your little town.
Do to prep your town to give your guys the best chance.
Right.
Even the strategy of how you're collecting the resources, like that little you basically build yourself a little pinball machine.
Yeah.
In there to like make sure you're getting the most out of your little hub area.
Right.
Like there's a lot of strategy, I think.
Yeah.
But also a lot of luck, which is very
luck.
Much like a sort of a sense of randomness and luck and like, oh wow, that was a great run. I got the right mix of
Pachinko the game.
Of stuff. Yeah. And then at the end you get all those stats. You're like, and I'm always looking at the stats.
Some of those stats are ridiculous.
Interesting. That was the ball that did the most damage.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a stats. I love it.
Right.
I love that stuff.
I've talked about Absalom enough. I want to hear your opinions on it.
Yeah, again, we play this game together, and I'm typically not really into beat 'em ups too much. You really like that genre, and usually when I play a beat 'em up game, it's like you're like, let's play together, So that's fun, and that's what we did. We played together, but I was like blown away by the look of this game.
Yeah.
Like the art style.
It's nice.
It is so beautiful. I was like, wait, they went this hard on this beat 'em up? Like they did not have to do this. Like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
It really has that like sort of fantasy fairy tale kind of almost like an illuminated book.
Right.
Kind of
right.
Do you know I love.
You got a word that you're banned.
Someone said that I'm not banned. You're actually banned.
From saying what?
From saying some word that they were like, if you play a drinking game when Kit says this word,
we'll both not say it.
We'll end up in the hospital.
We'll both not say it.
From liver failure.
Great. We'll both not say it.
But yeah, it has a really great look, and we were able to play as some different characters. You've unlocked a couple of characters, and it's very much like, yes, the gameplay mechanics are like side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it's so much more than that, which is why I think it's more interesting. Because sometimes beat 'em up is a little like brainless. You're just like, I'm gonna punch and kick, like great. But there's like things in each area that happen. Like we ran into an area where there was like these huge spiky swinging balls, and we were like, I've never seen this. And literally we like obliterated ourselves because we were like, wait, what do I do with this? There's all these specials that you can do that are super cool and stylish. The map, you can choose like different paths that you can go down, and you were like, oh, let's go into this castle because this is like a heist mission. And we did not survive very well.
No, that was hard.
And there it was really hard, but and then you can see on the map like how far you've gotten, and then again it does the thing where it's like every run they give you just enough where you're like, I did something, I'm leveled up, like I'm a little bit more powerful, I'll go again. So you do feel like that sense of like, oh, I didn't just waste my time, doing this run.
Right.
And we both tried out some different characters. I think I liked, so I tried out the dwarf guy, and what was it? The first one?
The elf with the big sword, yeah.
I like the elf more, I think.
That's a good character.
And then you tried out really like a bit more advanced
That's a much more
character.
technical character.
It has like this like go-go gadget arms, springing arms.
She spanks the enemy.
And she spanks them.
She grabs them and she spanks them.
She really spanked. there was like a dog
Spanking
that
away.
showed up. She was just spanking that dog.
Spanking a dog, spanking an orc. Why
Spanking an
not?
orc, yeah.
Everybody gets spanked.
It was
Yeah.
spanking, but not doing a lot of damage. Spanking and dying is what
Yeah,
she was doing.
that's a more complex character. And there's one other character I still don't have.
I know.
Who seems to be some sort of a frog magician
Ooh,
type
I think
that I would like to
that.
get. I'm continuing to play this game. I'm having trouble getting past a certain point. I keep butting up against this point. So
Okay.
I'm like, do I just need to keep doing this to get more powerful, but also
Yeah.
just like more experienced at doing it?
Yeah.
I got to break through.
Do they scale you down the difficulty when it's less than when it's just you playing by
That's
yourself?
a good question. I don't know.
Because you know how like Elden Ring gets harder when
Right,
there's two people
right.
in there. And
Yeah,
you're
I don't
like,
know, actually.
Come help me, but it's actually the same amount
Yeah.
of difficulty because it's just harder now.
Yeah, I don't know. At what point do we get tired of these games? These Hades-ish
Never.
games? Never? This
I
is just the formula for everything now?
Hades 2, I put in 150 hours.
Oh my god.
One day, I was looking at those stats on my little Switch Shop
Yeah.
app, and there was one day where it said I played Hades 2 for 12 hours.
Wow.
That's like half the day.
That's literally half the day. It's
I
not,
don't even know
it's not
how.
18 years, but it's half the day.
I don't even
Yeah.
know how. I don't even have a sense of like, oh, that was that many hours?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Time just flew by.
Because it's so good.
Yeah. You mentioning Hades 2 is a great segue to our news
Oh my
segment.
goodness.
Where
Big TGA.
Jeff Keighley has descended and has given us the nominees for the Game Awards, which we're going to be at in a couple weeks.
very
We're all set.
excited.
We're driving down. It's going to be
I know.
fun.
Road trip.
Road
we love
trips
a road trip
are
to
always
LA.
fun.
Yeah, we
We're
love
going to
it.
be vlogging that. It's going to be cool. But there's a lot of categories. We're not going to go through them all. But why don't we just look at Game of the Year?
I was going to say that our predictions were pretty spot on.
We were pretty close
Yeah.
on a lot of categories. Did you see that the Game of the Year nominees leaked early?
It did,
How did
yeah.
that happen?
It was the exact same graphic. It must have been like a website thing. Did they update the website a little
I don't
early?
know.
Whoopsie.
I checked in
it's
on it
always the website.
like an hour after it had gone up, and then I saw people, these leaked.
yeah. It was literally
no.
this exact graphic that leaked though, so I'm assuming someone
Well, now Nintendo's got more reasons to never give anything to Jeff Keighley. You got leaks. Sorry. We can't have leaks,
But
Jeff.
I gave him a thumb drive. I hand delivered it to him, so he wouldn't leak.
Yikes. So the nominees for Game of the Year are Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
So the only game on this list that I haven't played is Kingdom Come
Yes.
Deliverance 2. Is that game on PS5?
No, I think it's PC only. I would love for Kingdom Come 1 is on the Switch. I have that on the Switch.
I know, you said you really liked it too.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say that this game is just like way bigger and way better than that first game. So I think you would actually
I think
really
I would really like
a
this
very
game. Yeah.
realistic take on
Like a
medieval,
yeah.
a medieval sim.
Totally has all the aspects of things I would like, so I can
Yes.
see why it's on here.
Yeah, so, as it is, like a lot of these games end up getting nominated for a lot of things. He put out this list of the most nominated publishers.
Yeah, yeah.
Sony, how did Sony get 19? Oh, I guess Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotei. I guess that just got them a lot. Is there something else that I'm missing?
There must be other things in here, maybe. They also did say, you're going to say Kepler is next for the Clair
Yes.
Obscur nomination.
Yes.
The game also, I think, was nominated for 12 awards. Clair Obscur was nominated for 12 awards. And they said that it was, or whatever,
Well,
13?
13?
13 awards.
Okay.
And they said it was the most nominated game in Game Awards history.
For a single game?
For a single game.
Wow. EA had 10, Microsoft had 10, Sega had 7, Supergiant had 6, Team Cherry had 5. Where's Nintendo on this list? They couldn't even crack this list.
Not there.
They did not have a huge nomination list. They had Donkey Kong
And Mario Kart.
and Mario Kart. It was the best family game stuff.
Yeah, multiplayer game, racing game. I think they had a few games in those
Had
categories.
a lot of snubs though. There's a number of snubs, so that is interesting. But it is good that
I
Donkey
mean, Donkey
Kong.
Kong's on here
That's
deservedly on there.
That's very deserving.
Yeah,
yes.
some people were saying like, oh, Mario Kart 8 should, or Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart World, sorry, should have been nominated for best soundtrack, and you were saying that too because the soundtrack is really really good. It wasn't on there for best soundtrack. I would expect Nintendo to pick out a few more in Switch 2's launch year, but yeah, it's a little bit more muted than I thought. Do you think Nintendo cares? No. Do you think they care?
Not really.
I don't think they care.
Not
either.
really too much.
I don't really think they care.
We are going to refrain from picking what we think is going to win because we're going to do a whole video on that later, closer to the actual thing.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I played most of these games. That's exciting.
It was a good year. It was a really good year for games.
It really was.
Like through all these categories, like
games,
everything here is really good.
I've had a great time with all these games.
Like any
awesome.
of these 6 could win. I'll be like, yeah, I get it.
Totally get it.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, all these games are incredible. I mean, I didn't play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but yeah, the other 5, amazing games.
More on that to come in the coming weeks. Steam, Valve.
Gabe Cube
is
here.
Yes, the Gabe Cube is here. They had a lot of announcements late last week.
Yeah.
So they announced the Steam Machine, which is this sort of standalone PC, the Steam Controller, which is this interesting looking controller, and then the Steam Frame, which is their new VR headset. And it's all coming next year. They did not reveal any prices for this. And notably, in this picture we have, there's a Steam Deck, which has obviously been around for a while.
Yeah.
You would think, like, oh, we might be getting around time to get a new Steam Deck, but there was no Steam Deck announcement to speak of.
So I guess they're focusing on some other kinds of hardware?
Standing pat with the Steam Deck. And I've seen some, they've said, like, no, we want to be able, to deliver, like, a really big leap from the current Steam Deck.
Or else it's like this half
incremental
step.
thing.
It's kind of boring,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
I mean, they could have gone down some path of like every year. There's like, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better, and there probably were a lot of
like an
people
Apple
who would do that.
thing, yeah.
So that's an interesting approach of like, no, we're going to wait. And Steam Deck still seems to be very popular, very viable. There's things that are a lot more powerful and more technically advanced than it now, but it's still very popular. What do you think of
this Cube is very
stuff?
Interesting.
I'm interested in that as well.
I'm very interested in the Cube.
Yes. So it is. I think they said it's about a 6 inches cube.
Yep.
This article is weird. It says Valve claims it can be hidden under a banana. What does that mean?
Because it's small.
Under a single banana? What? That's a weird thing to say. So it's going to come in 2 different versions with internal storage, 512 gigs and 2 terabytes. You can buy it with or without the Steam controller. And this controller, you can see, uses those touchpads.
Yeah, it's
in
like
a very
really
prominent way.
Front and center. I was going to say, yeah.
Like
I wonder if that kind of gets in your way if your palms.
Oh.
I don't know.
Like if you're reaching up to touch a stick with your
Does
thumb.
the thumb brush up against?
Well, it is similar to the Steam Deck.
It is.
And like that, I always I was like, is this ergonomic for everybody? And for
Not
you,
for me.
it's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Those touchpads are cool. I don't play a ton of games that actually use those.
Yeah, that use it.
But it is probably going to be pretty good. And then the Steam Frame, like I'm not thinking about VR. I'm not interested in VR. I'm sure this will be a great device. It's just not something I'm personally interested in.
Yeah, still not like a VR game that's like, oh my gosh, I have to get a VR device to play this game because it looks so good or it's like so amazing.
So you currently have a pretty powerful gaming PC that you basically never use.
I never use it.
So what would interest you in this Steam Machine versus that?
I just don't like going into that room.
Oh, it's in a different room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember I said that it's on my desk?
Yeah.
And I had this thing where it's like, I don't want to go into my office to play games because that's where I work, right? And so it just feels like work when I go and sit at that desk.
So
maybe the Cube would just be connected to my projector.
So the idea of something that would hook into your TV is a lot more appealing to you.
Because that's where I play games, you know?
Yeah.
And the Steam Deck is tough for me because it's hard for me to hold that thing. It's really, really big. And it's really heavy. So it's really hard for me and I can't really reach some of the buttons. So that's been like the turn off for me in terms of getting a Steam Deck, which I would prefer because I like handhelds. But if this Cube makes it so like PC gaming feels more like entertainment versus like me sitting at my desk, I'm very interested in that. And it depends on the price, obviously, but I'm very interested in this.
Right. Yeah, I was initially interested in this too, because for the sake, like I don't. The things I don't like about PC gaming are just the constant tinkering, the updating, it's like I just need this thing to work, and I think they will make this in a way that does just work. Even I'm sure there's a lot of customization and stuff you can do with it, so I am interested in that. But then it's like, well, I have a Steam Deck and I have a dock for the Steam Deck, so
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not really playing a lot of games where it's like, oh, it's not powerful enough to do
You
it.
can play Kingdom Come Deliverance,
Yeah,
too.
I don't think you can play that on the Steam Deck. I think that is a game that's too beefy.
Oh.
So,
but do you think the beefy games can play on the Cube?
that's what they're saying. They're like, this will be okay to run, big, intensive
See, that's
games.
another reason then.
So I think some of the specs are out there, and again, people are like, oh, is that really enough? I trust Valve to know,
Oh, they know.
like, what will be best for
Yeah.
most games, and it's also like this becomes now a fixed spec thing where people can, we've seen a lot of developers make like, we made a Steam Deck version that runs
Yeah.
great on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Now with this, they can hopefully do that as
With the
well
Cube.
for that. Valve did do some, I think they called them, they did have some experiments with kind of more desktop-y things to put under your TV that didn't go very well. And I think if I remember correctly, like they were trying to license that format out to other people. This seems like a different approach, and maybe just the progression of PC gaming becoming more and more popular. I think this could be a big.
could be cool.
I think this could be a hit.
They didn't say when it was coming out. They said that
Next
the
year.
Steam...
All this stuff is next year.
Everything is 2026.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you have a guess on the price though?
How much is the Steam Deck now?
It's like 400.
I bought one. I said no, I can't buy
Yeah. I mean, it's still pricey.
I'm
And this
gonna
is going to be more
guess-
powerful.
I'm going to guess this thing is going to be like $600.
Yeah, I feel like 600 might be like the low end one.
Because they have a 512
Yeah.
gigabyte model and a 2 terabyte model.
I feel like for the high end one, like people.
it's probably like 800.
I could see that being like $1,000, like
Or
$999, because it's like, all right, yeah, okay, you want to splurge? We'll let you splurge.
I can get the little one though.
With the base one, maybe at like $7.
Yeah,
it's-
$657.
It ain't gonna be cheap, but it's cool. I think this is good.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I want this.
Some people are saying like, all right, well, Xbox is kind of shrinking in importance. Maybe does this take its place?
Oh.
There's also all this talk of like, is the next Xbox going to have cross compatibility with Steam? Like, could this
be an Xbox?
This is an Xbox.
Yeah.
Could you be?
The Gabe Cube is also an Xbox.
Could the Gabe Cube become your de facto next Xbox?
Right, because we'll see.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's very expensive. It's not the price, like, our
Right.
Xbox is like half the price of what we perceive the
Right.
price of this Cube could be, but if it replaces and it basically does two things, maybe it's worth it.
Right.
I don't know.
These things, I don't imagine these are going to be sold like in retail channels. It'll always be just through Valve.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, they do fine with the Steam Deck in that way, right?
yeah, but there are always people out there. They're like, "Oh, this is going to give the Switch 2 a run for its money, or this is going to put Nintendo out of business." It's like, no, these are
think
still
so.
pretty niche things, but it's a cool niche, and the niche does like them.
And there's certainly a very a very big audience for it. There's
and
people that want this.
I think it serves a very clear purpose for people like me who don't want to deal with that nonsense.
I want one.
The tinkering of PC gaming.
I was excited to see this.
How much of that is the Cube form factor?
Oh, like 90. Is it only black? Could it make me a white
Well,
one?
so they said that this you can take this off and you can customize that with all sorts of things. And there were some they had like a screen running on it that it's like doing stuff. So that's neat.
Way to a girl's heart, making a tiny cube that you can customize.
Yes.
That is the way to my heart.
Perfect.
I love it. I'm gonna get this.
Last story is also hardware related. So last week, PlayStation did a Japan-focused state of play.
Yes.
They're clearly putting a lot more focus on the Japan market. And they are introducing a special version of the PS5 that's very similar to what Nintendo did with the Japanese Switch 2, where it's Japanese language only. It's kind of locked to the Japanese market, and it's only going to be sold in Japan, but it is significantly cheaper.
Yeah, 25% cheaper.
Yes, so it's going to be, converting from yen, it's going to be about $357 US.
Yep.
So that is 25% cheaper.
It's a good price.
They're talking about how they want to get back into being competitive in that Japan market. And there is this article from TV Tokyo that's been going around about how the previous leadership regime of Sony was kind of okay to let the Japan market be ceded to Nintendo and just like, well, we're focused on the West and we're doing great in the West, so let's not worry about that. And now this new leadership is rethinking that, and there's all these stories. I haven't seen the exact sourcing of this, of like, oh, the new Sony CEO, like he personally pushed this through. This is his pet initiative because they need to get more competitive in the Japan market.
I guess he's Japanese, so maybe
yes.
It's like,
To what extent do you think this kind of changes their trajectory in Japan?
I mean, I feel like it will help, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be like a significant threat to what Nintendo has going on in Japan. Like they seem very well positioned in that market, and they seem to have found the right audience for the stuff that they're doing from a Nintendo perspective. Like this might be, again, it's like kind of like the GameCube, where like there is an audience there, they have a need. Maybe this, lower price Japanese only PS5 comes in to fill that need. Is that audience base going to take away from Nintendo's market share? I would argue no.
I know nobody wants to talk about the PlayStation 6, including myself, but this could be a good lead-in to the PlayStation 6, where it's like, hey, Japan, we still exist. You might want to still get this stuff.
Yeah.
I think as it is now, like I think the form factor is a challenge. I think
because it's too big?
I think you need to have a handheld.
Oh, because in Japan,
you should have a handheld.
Yeah.
And that's what we're hearing about the PS6 is like there's going to be some
handheld
option component to the PlayStation 6.
Got it.
That makes sense in Japan. Like just these, throw it under your TV. Like there's nothing that's really doing that great in Japan with that form factor.
That's right.
It's either something like a Switch or it's a phone.
It's a mobile game. Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
I think also are they going to rethink their software mix as well, because like they shut down a lot of those Japanese studios. And it's like, all right, well, we have Astrobot, but like what is actually serving the Japanese market and the Japanese tastes? That's maybe an oopsie in hindsight of like, wait, we should have kept those teams around, because it's like
not too late to rebuild, I guess.
I don't know to what extent the God of Wars and the Last of Us's are appealing to a mainstream Japanese video game.
I mean,
fan.
they have a lot of non-exclusive stuff.
Yeah, they've always got
Final Fantasy.
They've always got
whatever.
the third-party stuff.
Yeah, the third-party stuff.
Right, but I mean,
not a PlayStation.
Back
exclusive.
in Sony's heyday in Japan, like they were really churning out a lot of stuff that the Japanese audience loved. So I don't know. I think this is a good first step, and hopefully there's more parts to their plan than this.
Console wars are alive.
Console wars are back, but only in
Japan.
Yes,
in Japan.
Wow. Let's move on and let's wrap up with some questions from our community. And as always, we get those from our Patreon community. That's at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. Today we are starting with Cerulean Dragon. Were there any specific actions you needed to launch Smash Ultimate as a December game? How did you navigate the US holiday gauntlet? And how would you compare your approach to the very lackluster Metroid Prime 4 marketing?
Well, the difference was Sakurai was there to tell you what to do.
To make you do things.
Yeah, which is what he's doing now with Kirby, right? I mean, not a December launch, but still a holiday release. Yeah, this is one of those things where I think we learned about the December timing pretty early on. Like, we already knew pretty early on that it wasn't going to make it in, like, the main, like, the December time, the November, October timeframe.
Right.
We knew that it was, like, gonna be a December game, so we had plenty of time to wrap our heads around it. And to be honest, like, it's one of those things where it wasn't that hard because it was Smash Ultimate. Like people know what Smash is, so it wasn't like we were fighting for people's attention or like making all these concessions. In terms of like, oh no, like how can we get people to pay attention to this game even though it's coming out a bit later in the year? It was more so like, we know we can build the excitement because it's Smash Ultimate and because Sakurai is doing things, and people are just gonna accept the launch date when it launches. Like, it's just what it is. The only thing that was like a little bit of a bummer was like you do get out of the running for like game of the TGA conference. I remember that was a
Did it get nominated the next year?
It got nominated the next year, and I remember that was a big bummer because people were disappointed in and around Nintendo. They were like, oh yeah, we've missed the cutoff. Like, now we have to wait a whole year. It's kind of like what happened to Indiana Jones, where it did get nominated this year, but it's like, how many people remember? We did have, I think, some other stuff that we were doing the following year, but it was like, well, now you're a year out from this game coming out. So
Right,
it doesn't have like the hype as much, but the game was still alive and strong with Fighters Passes years after.
I mean, I think one of the best things that you guys did was just sort of embracing like the time in which you did launch. It's like, all right, well, now we can do something at the Game Awards, so let's make a big deal out of that.
Yeah.
And it was like right as the game was coming out,
Yes.
it was like, oh, people don't like the DLC to be announced. Don't put the cart before the horse. But in this case, it was just a great opportunity.
Exactly.
To push the DLC and the game.
It was the right audience, too,
Right.
to do something really fun and zany with Joker and stuff. So that was like a fun way to like almost like launch the game. But yeah, like it was very much like we had time to plan.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was going to be this date like a long time ago.
Right.
So.
Maverick Nate is next. Who at Nintendo would be the one to decide whether or not a YouTube has comments enabled? For the keycard video, could it have been an intentional choice from the communications team to elicit more specific feedback? What can you tell us? Thanks.
Well, you should know the answer to this.
I mean, along the way, anybody can raise their hand and say, maybe we should consider this. You know, it's not just the communications team. It could be the video team. It could be like literally anybody along the way could raise their hand. My personal feeling is it's a cop-out to turn the comments off because you are sending a message that this is content that you don't believe in and that you think is going to be controversial. It's like I already know you're going to hate this.
Yeah.
So why even put that in people's mind by turning them off? You have to live with the comments.
That's what happened with all the NSO videos that got like the most like negative
ratioed. And you gotta like, bro, you got ratio. It's like it doesn't matter. Like
who cares?
I think this is a very curious video. I think the timing of this video is very strange. I think the execution with the sample on the Pokopia or whatever was really weird.
Yeah.
But I would never be the one to say, hey, we should turn the comments off.
And I don't think the comments were left on intentionally to elicit feedback.
I think they have all the feedback
they have all the feedback that they need. And I agree with you. Like, we never turn comments off on our stuff. Like, that's a chicken move.
No. And there are times where the comments will be turned off by default. Like if you're making something that is designated for kids, the comments will be turned off. That is not like ducking mean comments. It's like, no, the rules of YouTube following the laws of the United States say you cannot have comments and that will happen by default. By default. But in this case, they would have just been ducking. So I'm sure the conversation came up. I'm sure somebody raised it. I think this was the good way to do it.
You have to leave it on.
Even if it was a very strange
If you have the balls to put that video out there, then you have to leave the comments on. Yes. You can't do that. You can't do that.
If you have the cojones to do something that nonsensical, you gotta live with it.
You have the comments on.
Yes.
And you have to read them.
Yes.
And know that and understand what people think of what
you have to stand in front of the all-company meeting and read those comments.
Well, some people's throwing tomatoes at you. Throw the tomatoes. No, just kidding.
Loom Doom is next. I'm curious, why did Nintendo drop the Nindies name? Did they get feedback from independent developers that didn't like the name, and that's why they pivoted to Indie World, or is there another reason? Keep up the good work, and thanks for reading my question.
They definitely do not care anything about what independent developers think, so that was not the reason. don't.
People love Nindies, though.
Independent developers, I think, loved Nindies.
Nindies was created by that team, the PDR team, and they ran with it, and they did as much as they could with it, and everybody loved it, and they made T-shirts, and every now and then
a little logo.
They made a logo, they made all this, but they got the tap on the shoulder from the legal team.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this anymore.
You can't do that, because you're not supposed to, like, combine the brand word.
It was like Wiimote.
Yeah, Wiimote was bad. You can't say Wiimote.
Yeah.
Wii Remote. And definitely could not, like, kind of cut the Nintendo brand in half and tack it to another word.
Right.
It dilutes the brand, in the words of legal.
Yeah.
Makes it so that you cannot defend your brand later on for some sort of legal dispute.
And speaking of disputing, like the PDR team did dispute it. Remember the guy who came up with this and he was really like the champion of it? He was kind of a pit bull. Yeah. And I think he went toe-to-toe with legal, but guess what?
He lost.
You can't beat that.
Hardcore.
You won't be beating
He got slapped hard by the big palm of legal, by the legal palm. He got slapped.
No,
he was licking his wounds.
Just like in Absalom, that was the dog that got spanked.
He was licking his wounds for a long time.
And then he left.
And then he left the company because he couldn't do it. He couldn't live.
Can't do an indie, I can't be here.
I can't be here.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is Nintendo has so many internal things that do this.
Oh, yes.
Insight is the internal company.
Ambassador.
Ambassador.
Yes.
They have lots of things like this that is internally facing that does exactly what legal says that you can't do, which is like take the word Nintendo and like mishmash it with other words. So that was ironic, but that poor guy.
Manjog's next. I had such a late night prepping for a work presentation and woke up so tired. Pretty sure you could see the bags under my eyes. I wanted to ask, did you guys ever pull any all-nighters whilst working at Nintendo? Bonus, were there any that were self-inflicted? For example, you were gaslighting yourself that working late meant a chance at promotion.
We had many of this. I definitely had.
I think you had more than I did.
I had like at least 5 or 6 of these.
All-nighters?
Yeah.
Seriously?
There was one that we talked about, I think, already.
Well, tell it again.
I don't remember which
one. It's been a
one.
while.
One was we had an event the next day and realized that it was for Animal Crossing City Folk, and we realized that all of the games for the event were like fresh, unplayed games, and you can't like it was like a media preview. It's like the media are gonna go play Metroid Prime 4.
Right.
Those people were lucky, I guess, because they could just play from the beginning. They were just playing the first 90 minutes, but Animal Crossing you can't do that because if you play the first 90 minutes. It's kind of boring because it's all tutorial and you have no town built up to do the Animal Crossing things. You have to like build that stuff up. So it was literally the night before. We didn't realize that this was happening, that we had basically fresh retail copies of the game. And so I think there was about 12 of those games that we basically had to play all night to be able to get it to a point. Like we had a certain, you got to play like at least 3 or 4 hours in for each game. We had multiple people doing this too. It was not just me, but I was in that group of like people. And I remember, oh my gosh, we were in the New York office doing this, and the head of the New York office was this guy that now has retired from Nintendo.
Has he?
He went back to NCL.
I don't think he retired.
He's not retired yet?
I think he's still there. But
I love him.
But he moved back to Japan.
He moved back to Japan.
He was great.
But he used to head up the New York office. He was like the nicest, sweetest person ever. He was just watching us like struggle and play this Animal Crossing.
But he was one of those guys who's like, I might spend the night in the office 3 days a week. So,
I know.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of there, and he was like, he would kind of helped a little bit too. Yeah. But he like brought us dinner.
That's nice.
Like he was so sweet. He was like, "Are you guys okay? I'm gonna go get you guys like pizzas because you seem to be stressed out." And we basically stayed there like almost. It was like early, like 4 a.m.
Right.
Before we were finished doing. It was crazy.
Right.
Yeah. I have other stories. I have other all-nighters.
I can't believe you did that many. Yeah. I feel strongly that like most of these can be avoided.
That one you can though.
I guess in that, but you could get product testing. That's what. We need product testing to play this up for you.
But there's only one. They were there.
Oh man.
There was not enough people. 12 games, you have to play 4 hours each. How are you supposed to do that with one person?
I don't know.
There's not enough hours in the night.
I don't know. So I never did that, but I did have some late nights that were. It was often like you're waiting for something that you like. There might be like, okay, this press release is going out tomorrow, and I need Japan's feedback, and they're like, oh, we're gonna
time difference.
Well, we're gonna get it. Just stand pat, and it's like. The time is just ticking away, and it's like 2 a.m. It's like, hey, anything? Like, oh, I forgot.
2 a.m.?
It's like, oh, I forgot to ask. Let me go ask them. And then they would do it. Like, oh, no comments. Haha. And then you would get it out. And then there was another one I remember when I was doing Nintendo Direct, which was interesting, where it was the script was going down to the wire, and it was in.
They got filmed the next day.
It was for Mr. Iwata. No, it was like, we're filming it now.
Oh.
But we have these late changes, and
now their time.
And here is a bad English translation. Please prepare this in real English so that he can read it, because that was when it was like, okay, we are taking the thing that Mr. Iwata filmed. He's going to do it in English. You're going to put it in your direct in English.
Yeah.
And this is your only chance. He has no time. He's going into the studio at this time. Get it done. And that was a real like pressure. They would literally send it and start. Do you have it? Do you have it? Is it ready? Is it ready? It's like, I'm doing it right now. Leave me alone.
But you had to give it to them. You were late.
Well, again, why did we end up in this situation?
Who did you have to get approvals from? Everyone?
At that point, nobody. At that point, it was like, we're rolling with this. Mr. Iwata, if you don't like it, he'll tell you. Don't worry.
Oh, so you didn't even need to get it approved.
Oh, no,
you were just translating and making it English grammatically
correct.
correct.
We had gotten it mostly approved in advance.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just me.
It wasn't like you chasing someone down. Yeah.
No, it was me and the guy on the other side who was stressing out. Because it was like, the clock is ticking, he is going into that booth. If it doesn't happen, we're just not going to have this. Because he's moving on. He's catching a flight. He's
busy.
He's going to Kansai. He's getting on the Kansai Express. Like,
oh no, he's eating a train bento.
Yeah.
You can't get him again.
I know.
Yeah.
So those were some examples for me. Wrapping up with a fun one from John Frischia. So any memory of this? And the tweet is, what does the fox say, you ask? #Reginator. And we have this image of Fox McCloud saying, definitely not. Ring, ding, ding, ding-a-ring, ding.
That's like that song.
So that was a meme. What? There was a time that the social team was memeing real strong. And this was a product of that era.
Yes. This was
we found,
also related to E3.
We found the top millennial memers that we could find, and we put them to work.
There was 2 of them.
Yes.
They're both no longer at the company.
But they've continued their career.
They continue their career
of memery.
of memery.
Yes.
They were very good at their jobs.
No, I mean, it could have been this. It could have been, the grumpy cat. There was the hoot dat boy who was a frog on a unicycle.
Yes,
the Harlem Shuffle. You name it. They had their bag was very deep.
Pew pew pew. There was a pew pew pew
of millennial memes.
Yeah,
yes.
there's a lot of millennial. They were like deep into this.
What does the #Reginator have to do with this? You remember? Oh, good.
Yeah, this is because it was for E3. Okay. And we made that Mega 64 skit where Reggie lowers the sunglasses and get zapped, and that's where he gets the nickname Reginator.
Right.
And this was related to that E3.
But what does the fox say have to do with that?
Because that was the Star Fox.
What was the origin of that meme?
It was that song.
That was a song.
It was a song.
I don't remember this.
And that was one of the lyrics is the ring ding ding of ring of whatever. It was again. I'm a millennial.
It was a different time. That's all we can say.
It was a different time.
It was a different time, and they were trying to figure stuff out.
Nowadays they can do like some Gen Z memes. Be like,
6'7"?
What does the fox say? Definitely not 6'7". 6'7".
Oh gosh.
It's not Metroid Prime 4, Metroid 6'7".
Yes. Cue the Steve Buscemi memes.
We should do it.
Thank you to everybody who sent in a question. Again, those are all folks from Patreon. That could be you, which for just a few dollars a month, you can become a subscriber to our Patreon and get all sorts of amazing stuff. Get the Pokemon spoiler cast, get the Metroid Prime 4 spoiler cast, get those gameplay videos we were talking about, get the bonus Q&As, get it all.
That's 5 things right there.
Get it all. And did you know that if you sign up for a year-long membership, you get a nice discount?
Ooh.
Tis the season for some discounts. Say some
moolah. You can also gift.
You can gift a Patreon subscription. Isn't that nice?
To someone.
Make somebody happy.
What a great gift. Give the gift of us.
It is.
Click the spaces. Give it to somebody. Do it. Just do it now. Okay, we're on the socials. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads. You should do more millennial memes on our socials.
I should. Okay.
What kind of memes you got in your back pocket?
I don't know. I think the grumpy cat is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
That's kind of sad.
That's very sad.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, leave us a comment, and give this episode a like. We would love that very much.
Please.
If you're listening on audio, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you can also subscribe. Why don't you? You can leave us a 5-star rating and a written review, if you please.
Please.
We would love that.
Please.
Yes.
Do the things. Help us out. Okay, let's shout out some wonderful Patreon community members, starting with Final Boss Aaron Hash.
Big happenings.
Happy birthday.
Because it's Aaron Hash's happy birthday, yes.
The boss himself, Aaron Hash, getting a birthday surprise box this month from us, which is going to be exciting.
It's a big one. It's a cool one.
You're going to jump out of a cake.
Happy birthday, Final Boss. I'm going to sing this song. Yes, there we go. Wow.
How exciting. Okay, superstars. Mara Mayhem.
Eigenverse.
Mike Chin.
Brett Eschke.
VGM Life.
Link, the hero of wins.
Angela Bycroft.
Thomas O'Rourke.
Kyle LaBeouf.
Andrew Uhas.
Chili.
Krashuri.
Master Discord.
Travis Torline.
Echo Ladair.
MSM Poke Gamer.
R. Burns.
Kit 10K.
Adrian.
Nathan Clover.
And the Shark Among Men.
Kyle Buff is in our hood this week, and we saw he made a visit to the San Francisco store.
Oh boy, he got in, no line.
Looked fun.
He ate my favorite burger.
He followed the directions.
He said it was the best burger he's had in his entire life.
That's a high bar. Wow.
It's a good burger.
That's good.
People should go to that place.
Okay.
All right, not superstars.
No.
One Up Club. A. Ron Burgundy.
Add Cool 2000.
Age 1000.
Ein Eveleth.
Ali Alejandro.
Alejandro Orozco Borrego.
Andrew Lobo.
Andy Robinson.
Angel 8.
Anthony Kier.
Aristru.
Astrodev.
Awesome 46.
Bino.
Barnstorm.
Bates.
Berserker.
Big and Gamer with a Y.
Bob Clefton.
Brandon Kavapel.
Brent Dennison.
Brian Decker.
Brovak Novak.
Cashew.
Cedric Benson.
Shadir.
Chelly Squirrel.
Chris Fisher.
Crispy Saurus.
Christopher Lay.
Chunky Conga.
Colleen Finnegan.
Cosmic Titan 718.
Captain Alex.
C. Roper 17.
Cynical Squid.
Dog DeLeo.
Dally Dinkum.
Dachshund.
Debbie P.
And Dinkum and Bubblegum.
And Doinko.
Trey.
Dude Dad Life.
Eccentric Tony.
Elite Peach.
Sparts 50.
Fairbound.
Fernie and Jess Forever.
Fox Deploy.
Funky Hand.
Gamer Likes Anime.
Gamer Nerd 78.
Garth the Wolf.
Gartooth.
Jeremy.
Gin Wolf.
Guilty Phoenix 42.
Hey Yo Jose.
Ira Bell.
Iris Marin.
It's your boy J-Ho.
Ivan Zito.
J Rando.
Jameson Eisenberg.
James.
Jason Ball 34.
J Bar.
Joe Encarnacion.
Jonathan Rowe.
John Comboy.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joseph Gunter.
Joshua Clements.
Juju Fruit.
Justin Lemminger.
J Wolf.
Callan CPU 57.
Kawa 2796.
Kevin Delane.
Kilo Kibo.
Kyle Gamer Berry Rookie.
Kyle 325.
Kyle Kretzer.
Kyle R. Smith.
Lazy Cat 4 Coffee.
Leah Rao.
Lex.
Link 9898.
Linko.
Linton.
Luke Hayabusa Kramer.
Luna B.
Lynn.
Macho Potato.
Mad Dog 5981.
Magnificent Easy G plus Callie Marie.
Mario Man 392.
Marky Man 64.
Nat GPT.
Maverick Nate.
Megan.
May plus Leon.
Michael Mazer.
Michael O'Hara.
Michael Wong.
Mikey.
Mr. Ryan 07.
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Palm.
Mr. Beans and Dip.
Mr. Bendu 101.
My Tran.
Nasir.
Naif E.
Nigbia Reeves.
Nisuchu.
Ninbendo 64.
Ninja 11.
Oliver Wint.
Omega Index Card.
Pangy.
Paper Boat.
Patrice Millette.
Paul Gale Network.
PokeDigiFan 20.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
Prof. Clive.
Punky.
Rain Tech.
Rob M.
Rob O.
Robbie DLC.
Romsky 113.
Rocks.
Ryan Haas.
Ryanetta.
Sage Gamer.
Salkin 20XX.
Scott Seward.
Sebastiano Garase.
Sega.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Shiny Elizabeth.
Slow Bro.
Shump.
Schnozzle.
Spacey Poo.
Spicy Munchkin.
Star Fox Melancholy.
Stephen Rockoff.
Stuart Radley.
Pseudo Priest.
Switching it up _
Tales of Link.
Tamer rhymes with hammer.
Tandem.
Tay 120 and 64.
TCGN 21P.
Teal Fox 64.
The Kiggers.
The Quiet One.
The Suro T.
Thomas Alvarez.
3 Rivers.
Token 777.
Torcheeks.
Totally Joe Ed.
Totomaru.
Trajawi.
Trevor Collins.
Tux Puppy Bear.
Tuscoop.
Tyler Geis.
Victor MK.
Vic Jmictor.
Vinny to the Cave.
Viridian.
Virtual Bot.
Waffles.
WG Grizzy.
Wicked Davy.
Zachary Yes.
Zalgrath.
Zapatty.
Zero Link.
And Zride.
I feel like it just got really dark outside all
It
of a sudden.
did.
What
It
happened?
was sunny and now it's very cloudy.
Oh my gosh.
Night-
How long have we been podcasting?
Night has fallen.
Day has turned
on
to
this
night.
podcast.
Oh, no.
Hopefully not that much time.
18 years?
18.
Yes.
It's like that Titanic meme. It's
Yes.
been 35, whatever.
We'll see you
50
again
years.
next week or maybe in 18 years.
Okay.
Who's to say?
Bye.
Bye.